Wait for it. got my scarf, got my own clothes. I got a 40 game to go to. 40's on, 40's here again. Back to greet me like an old friend. And well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. I'll meet a friend outside the ground. We'll argue over who's gonna win. He'll go for his team, I for mine. We'll watch him slug it out right to the end. Show me the crowd and I'll take my place. I'm hungry for the taste of it. Well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what football means to me. That's how I like my footy to be. And well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about. Yeah, that's the thing about I got a long road to walk down to catch a tram to my favorite ground. Use my legs, use my voice, make some noise to warm the boys in. That's what football means to me. That's how I like my footy to be. And well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I love. Yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I love about. Yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I love. Yeah, that's the thing about
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 5370 1478.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Melton Rec Reserve. It's Melton South hosting Darley this afternoon. It's a real top v bottom clash, but we're looking forward to seeing how the youngsters of the Panthers can measure up against one of the finals contenders this year, and former Melton South coach Heath Pritchard joins us for the afternoon. And Heath, what's to get out of the afternoon for the Panthers?
Oh, look, I think most importantly, first of all, good to be here, Todd. Well, I think just after last week's performance, I'll just be looking for some competitiveness around the contest, not get blown out the water too early. Hopefully they can use the ball a bit better than what they did last week and just get a few wins in relation to the way they're playing the game. That'll be the biggest thing today.
Big welcome to all our listeners listening right around the region this afternoon via Apple 98.5 FM, Melton 979 FM, and Red Onion Vision by the BFNL match day. So we've got a beautiful day for football, really, while it threatened during the week. It's a good track here too at Melton South. So, well, it's going to be pretty one-sided, you'd assume. Heath, so the Devils, with arguably their best side in for the year, you'd expect them to post a high score today. Yeah,
look, it's one of those grounds where you can score quick and you can score fast at Melton South. Obviously, it's a small ground and no doubt Darley will be looking to do that. To be honest, I was pretty surprised to see Darley play the blokes that they have today. I thought they may have rested a few, but it's an interesting one when they've got South this week, Lake Wendouree next week, and then go into the Melton game. So it's a balancing act that Dan and Matt Cape need to get their way through, and I've got no doubt they're experienced blokes, they know what they're doing. So I think they'll just be hoping to get through this unscathed, get the 4 points in their pocket. They should win by a healthy margin, and get themselves ready for probably the bigger game in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, hindsight's a lovely thing. Sunbury had a similar preparation. They had Melton, Southend, the Lakers into Darley, and that they came unstuck by 50-odd points last week. So Darley will have very much the same into Melton, into a game which looks like being held at McPherson's Park. The opening of the new facility at Darley held off for another week, while on the back of the bye, albeit round 9 against North Ballarat. Well, we're not far off a start here. Healthy crowd into attendance. It'll be Darley kicking to the Melton town end as the siren sounds to get play underway. It's Impey in the ruck. The youngster tapped to Bewley. Baker had got it to Bewley with the left foot. Ominous signs early as Impey, Baker and Bewley went 1, 2, 3. And an entry inside 50 to Billy Myers. The kick a little errant. And over the line, out of bounds. So first clearance to the Devils. Impey back into the side today after missing with concussion last week. A welcoming inclusion. Tap one by Leonard. Cassius White wearing the 51 today. Second effort, okay. Ball spills out over the line for a boundary throw-in. So this alleged 50-metre line here, you know more than I. How far is that?
About 42 and a half, I reckon, Todd.
42 and a half.
Nah, it's probably 45 to be fair.
45. Well, we wanted to know the answer to that question for about 20 years.
It certainly isn't 50.
There's the throw-in. Morrissey and Impey. Impey with his first act, got it to Bewley. Got caught on his non-preferred side, went with the hand pass, surging there toward Azapart. He had to bend and gather, went to the voice of Page, found him, got it to Lahure. Lahure's pressed right up. Square kick bound Baker, about 42 and a half metres out from goal, Heath.
Well, you can just see one of the issues there for South straight away is that they're getting blokes that go to the ball. They tend to get drawn to the footy. Better balance around the contest from the Darley guys, backing the fact that they're going to win the footy, and they just hold their width much better. South just have to be aware of that and try and hold their width.
This will do wonders for Booth and Baker. Just wanting to add this to his game. Goal kicking. And again off to the left. Through for a minor score. And the first of the afternoon. So near 2 minutes gone here. Darley one behind, lead Melton South, no score. So it'll be wild to bring the ball back into play. Kicks okay, was meant for Morrissey, spilled out. Pressure was good there from the Devils. Ball held to him, there'll be a stoppage. About 40 metres out from the Darley goal.
Just look at Luther Baker at the back of the contest here, walking around by himself. You can see that there, Todd. He's too good a player to be leaving standing there by himself. But Cody Chapman's gone to him now, which is good.
You must have the earpiece on there. Chappie for you, Heath. Familiar voice. Impey pushed forward, won the tap. Second effort at ground level was terrific for a big man. Written into the ground there was Denham. Umpire called play on. Ball spilled free. Opportunity here for the youngster Bibby. His hand pass is cut off there by Cadman. They threw ball on to boot. And missed all and sundry out of bounds on the full. So it'll be Fino who brings the ball back into play. Kick's good. One of the more impressive youngsters from the Panthers, Fino.
Yeah, he's a good kid, Mitch. He plays really well, works hard.
Risky kick from Morrissey, went in the Bewley direction, turnover opportunity. Goal went forward on the not preferred, went over the head of Billy Myers. Good shepherd there on Hoyland, protecting the ball drop, and it's gone through for the first goal of the afternoon to Brett Bewley. So Bewley gets his first, and just that kick from Morrissey, just some poor execution let him down.
Yeah, it's just execution, and that's probably one of the biggest issues South have had over the first 5 weeks is just the turnovers and the scores against them from turnover. Straight away, we've got a goal from turnover there, unfortunately. So fingers crossed we can get our hands on the footy here, Todd. I'll say old habits die hard, mate.
Back in the middle of the ground, tap Impey and Jones. We'll give that one to Jones. Fell into the hands of Fino. Fired it out towards Bridges. Back to Fino. Good start there from the youngster. Right foot kick inside 40. Punched away there from Brett. Good defence. Only got to the ball there was Rogers, but the boundary beat them all over the line for a boundary throw-in. And the first 40 entry here, we'll refer to that here at Melton Rec Reserve this afternoon for the afternoon. So Darley with the only goal of the game in the opening 4 minutes through Brett Bewley. He's 15th of the season. Here's the throw-in. Impey, who's just about won every tap. Ground level ball picked up by Bewley, pinged by the arm. How will the umpire adjudicate? He says, oh, hell to him. The reigning Henderson medalist there, pinged by the arm. That was a good tackle there from Bridges. Ball up. Impey again, won that tap. Cousins back into the side today. There's another handy in there. Heath, after a solid performance for Geelong VFL last week.
Look, Darley got quality players across every line and they're just building nicely, Todd. So certainly got the class factor with Cousins and Luther Baker, Bewley, Myers.
So Morrissey did his own roving work there before he was bowled up and taken to the ground. And there'll be a repeat stoppage.
I actually really like this from South, the fact that they're causing some repeat stoppages here. That's a win for them, so it's good to see. Definitely a disadvantage for Jack Morrissey in the ruck, but he's working pretty hard.
Denham at ground level, got it to Bewley. He went to Baker, who was bowled up and hustled over the line for a boundary throw-in. So the Panthers in attack. Their first real forward 50 or forward 40 entry after that opening goal to Bewley. Boundary throw-in, tap one by Impey. Bewley couldn't gather, he did in the air but was dispossessed on the way down. Scrappy bit of play, ball spills free over the line for a throw-in. So you think the Panthers will be happy with the scrap?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to show that they're in the contest, and last week was really disappointing in that fact. It was probably, although it was the lowest losing margin, last week was the worst performance of the year. So today, much better. Blokes are putting their body in, they're laying some tackles, they're smothering. Bad free kick to give away there, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, Morrissey just done for size there, just pushed his opponent in the back. So he went by hand to Cousins, he gave it back to Impey, kept running, gave it to Bewley, back to Cousins, to Bewley, the left footers combined, and finally, by the left boot goes Bewley towards outer side centre wing. Ball at ground level, nearly a push on the Panthers. The umpire let it go. Shovelled out there by Fino. Got into the hands of Wild, who went by hand to White, but his kick's been cut off by the Footscray VFL listed young Bailey Young. Short kick was pretty ordinary in the end. And here's an opportunity for the Panthers to keep it inside their 40. And they'll get a repeat stoppage right in front of the scoreboard. So the Devils just taking their time to warm up, but in fairness to the Panthers, they've denied them space in a game on their own terms in the opening 7 minutes. Bewley by hand of the voice. The Denham was terrific. Went further afield towards Young. Old-fashioned territory kick to half forward. There's a nice mark taken there on half forward there by Johnson. Wastes no time, sits it up as the party's on it. Did he take it? He did. Our view just obscured by the social covering here just in front of us here at broadcast. But that's a strong mark for Andy as a party. He'll go back and have a shot on goal. Known for kicking a goal a game. He's a pretty reliable wing push forward depth player at the Devils. Finished, I think he might have even snuck into their top 10 best and fairest last year.
Yeah, underrated player, does a job every week for Dan, and certainly will thread this, you would think. Can't believe it wasn't holding the ball down the other end though, Todd, to be fair.
As the party puts it through and gets Darley's second of the afternoon. Tick over 8 minutes gone. Darley 2-1-13, lead Melton South, no score. Yes, the exit kick there for the Devils it was pretty ordinary, and they were lucky to get away with it. I'm not sure they had much prior, but Panthers will just want to take what they can, you'd think.
Yeah, absolutely, Todd. So, but it's a quick transition. Worked hard to keep the ball locked in the forward line for 2 minutes there. Didn't score, and Darley got it straight out and scored straight away. So you can see if they keep the ground open that Darley are going to be able to get the ball from the back half to the forward half fairly quick through transitions. So
just looking at the the net behind the goals, Heath, It almost looks like it's at three-quarter capacity. I mean, you're more often than not chasing your own ball anyway, aren't you?
We are, so just the Melton Council will put those ones in, mate. So everything seems to get put up at Mackie Park these days, Todd. So
Tap one by MP, ground level. Riley couldn't gather. Baker conceded by hand, missed the target, put Page under pressure, had to go back and do his own dirty work. And they've ended up conceding here, the Devils, with a free kick to the youngster Evans into the side today on half forward.
Did well then, kept the ball in front of him and attacked it hard, which was good to see. It's pleasing.
So we've heard about your young bloke, Heath. How does he compare to size to this Blair Evans? Because he's not much of Blair either, really.
Nah, Blair's probably got him covered, mate. So Lockie's, I think Lockie's probably weighs in about 55 kilos and is just over 5'7". So he's a pretty small kid, but it's a different kettle of fish coming to the footy, being a dad watching your son play senior football, that's for sure.
Well, Evans' kick, he just tried to bite off a bit more than he could chew there and just sort of shanked it to the left, striving for distance, but it went out of bounds. There'll be a throw in. Impey's pushed back. He's done well there. Hurried kick from Adam Azzopardi. Got it to his brother there in Andy, who found Baker. Conceded found to Page, who went along the win. Myers with strength. It was well done by Oyland. Affected the ball to Riley. Ball fell into the hands of Simpson and went forward to half forward. And a big thump over the boundary line by Lahoure. That's a good strong thump. That's the way defensive coaches would like to see spoils, Heath.
Yeah, good defensive work then.
Hippies won nearly every tap out. Won that one again. How will it sit for Young? Pretty good at keeping his feet most occasions. Umpires picked out a free kick. I think he might have paid a throw. So it'll be Evans. Couple of touches early for the newcomer. So he plays on. Went by hand to Fino. Went deep into attack, but it's just well led on the last line there by Matthew Brett, who normally good by foot. Switches play. Kicks okay. And it's Sullivan against his old side. And his first game in for the black and white at senior level. Kicked the ball towards half back. Ground level ball opportunity here for Bewley. He just stood up in that tackle. Before he was carried over the bounds for a boundary throw.
Just a part of Mitch Fino's game that he really has to work on. His entry kicks inside forward 50. Too often he just misses the target or doesn't give it to the most advantageous spot to the forward.
Throw in, Impey nudged out, umpire let it go. Thrown on the boot there by Matt Riccardi, got to outer side centre wing. Johnson powered up by a couple of Panthers. Absalom into the side, high up and under kick, umpire will pay the mark. Punch was good at the back, opportunity here for, it might have been Johns who got the ball to half forward, Cousins, and fired the hand pass out towards Young. He went with the right boot, presenting here is Cadman, had to stop and prop, but he was up to the task. He took it in front of Kavarik, played on, went by hand towards Young, unselfish, went over the top to Ankrum. Mum might have been taking a photo with the flash on to Ankrum because he dropped it. Umpire called play on, and the Panthers have conceded here on half forward to Bishop. Ankrum wanting to make amends to get it back as the ball goes into attack, and Bewley's taking a juggled mark on the back of that entry kick from Bishop, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal for goal number 2. So good observation there on Fino, Heath, because that example there from Bishop just sees the result of an effective kick.
Yeah, just laid it out in front of Brett Bewley there, and Bewley's such a strong player, and there's not too many country sides that get a bloke straight off an AFL list 24 months ago and get him back into their side, so he's going to be a tough one to match up on.
Bewley, shot on goal, is off to the left and through for a minor score, so a let off there for the Panthers. Near 13 minutes gone in this opening term, while Melton South are yet to score. Darley have managed just 2 goals too. Kicking out of defence there from Wild was risky. Myers trying to affect the spoil, but Lee was there, kept his feet, and moved the ball towards the defensive pocket. Cadman kept it in, kicked it across the body to the danger area, and Bewley again. Just read it beautifully off the boot. And just a little bit of a class edge on Riley there. Just was able to pretty much come in and take an uncontested mark at the end. Riley unable to take body or ball.
No, just had to sit there, and it was a nice kick out to get into to his advantage. I think we're seeing the major differences in the actual field kicking and handballing. As I mentioned earlier, the fact that the spread's good, they're not rushing in. Darley are holding their width and waiting to be able to win the footy and get given the ball, and
Bewley makes no mistake from 25 metres out.
South are actually, look, to credit to South, they're hanging in, they're having a crack, and they're just being a bit outclassed at the moment. So just got to watch on turnover, got to be more careful when they've got the possession of the ball.
14 minutes gone opening term. Darley 3-2-20 lead Melton South, no score. 2 goals to Brett Bewley, 1 to Andy Azzopardi. Good to see Melton South honouring the Indigenous round with the a flag replica, or the centre circle paint emblem in the middle. Ground's in good nick too. I've seen it in a lot worse condition over the years, Heath.
Yeah, it is in good nick at the moment. Yep, you can't complain about the conditions today. So if you don't get a kick today, you're probably you're struggling really.
4 sets of white boots in the middle of the ground here at the moment, if you don't mind. Must be the way of 2023. Tap won by Cadman. Ball went to ground level. Out of the congestion goes Matt Tricardi. The pressure from Riley was good, so he had to go by hand. Out in the direction of Bishop. Good use of the body on Absalom. Absalom just knocked the ball forward only as far as Page, who threw the ball on to boot, missed all, and Sundry out of bounds on the full. And Reece Lee will bring the ball back into play.
Just one of the interesting things, Todd, is that the tackle pressure from South's really, really good, but Darley still have the body strength to be able to release the footy, and got to try and wrap them up a bit more. But the effort to tackle is good. We've just got to try and stick the tackle so they can't release the footy.
So Lee goes along the line. Turnover opportunity here for Young. Fired the hand pass out to Brodie Ward, who went again by hand to Cabin, who found Bewley on half forward, who took a nice mark in front of the youngster Bibby. Lowered the eyes on the kick, but it was well read by Chapman. Reigning club best and fairest and captain goes into the middle of the ground. Miller was the target. Cousins did the spoil. Was well trapped in the end there by Lahure, who nearly got leg break there. Fired on with the hand pass towards Denby. Went inside 50. Diving attempt at the chest mark spilled by Darren Leonard back into the side today. Defensive kick will get the Panthers out of trouble. Oh, that was a good turn there by Fino. Turned Lahure inside out, went along the wing.
Much better kick from Mitch Fino then. Gave it right out in the Jack on Morrissey's space, which was excellent.
So Morrissey with ball in hand will look to move the ball forward. We missed all and sundry really in the end, but it stayed just inside the boundary line. Umpire said it was touched before it went over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Actually, don't mind Mitch Caddy, the guy that South have got at full forward. He's new this year. Just needs to lead though and present to the footy. He hasn't been presenting so far today.
Kicked 3 goals last week in that 102-point loss to the Lakers. So he should have some confidence heading in today. And there's Matt Tricardi, who ended up wrestling in that ruck duel, ball at ground level. Bit of a stalemate of sorts. Patea tackled, dispossessed. Quick answer, Matt Tricardi. Meant for Cadman, was cut off there by Morrissey. He was under pressure. Fired the hand pass out to Bailey Young. He just threw the ball onto the boot. There's a nice mark taken there by Lee. He might be the Shane Page version for the Panthers, but obviously not in the same class, but
similar sort of
quarterback role.
Yeah, exactly. He just needs to again disposal then. Like it was a 20-metre kick to a guy standing by himself, and it's landed short of him.
So Van Leith with ball in hand. Short kick's okay to Bishop. So Bishop goes to inside half forward, looking there towards Myers. Probably dropped what he should have taken. It was some good pressure from the Panthers' defence. Scrappy bit of play with Bees to a honeypot around the football. Finally gathered cleanly by Riley. But the umpires picked out a free kick. Did you see that one, Heath?
I don't see a lot what Adrian sees, to be brutally honest.
Well, you can say that now, can't you, I guess?
Yeah, I can.
So the Devils. Left foot kick from Denham. Goes out in the direction of Leonard, who takes a nice overhead mark and a confidence builder for the returning veteran today.
Good player, Darren. He's been a good player for a lot of years, and really can go either end of the ground for the Devils. That was a strong mark. The defender there couldn't do much more, and it was a great kick into him as well. So they're just showing their class here at the moment, the Devils, with their use of the footy.
So Darren Leonard, who nearly helped pinch that 1 point loss to Ballarat in that first semi-final last year. Goes across the face of goal. Van leads second, third attempt. Shark there by Myers. Chance here for Johnson. Pressure good there from the Panthers. So they take Myers to the ground. And there'll be a ball up. So from the broadcast area, it really is a black spot for us here. We can't see much. I know that Myers won that tap. Chapman around the footy. He's had a quiet start by his standards, the Melton South captain.
Yeah, it's probably hard playing on ball when you've got such a strong on-ball division, getting first use out of the ruck as well.
Yeah, good call.
It's not the easiest thing when getting silver service from your ruck division like the Darley boys are at the moment.
Myers tried to grab it out of the ruck, did so in the end. Went to go to Bewley, then he was tackled. Chance for Fino to combine to Chapman. He's just overcooked the kick to Morrissey. Young knocked the ball forward to Cadman, to Ankrum. Missed the target. Page had to go back and get it himself. Threw the ball on the boot, kick across the body. Has been cut off. The mark's been taken there by Fino. So let's see how he executes by foot here. He's got wild short if he wants him, but he'll choose the longer option. So he goes to centre wing. Caddy the target. Read up well off the boot in the air by Matthew Brett. Squaring kick into the middle of the ground's okay. Found Andy has a party. Just turned, lowered the eyes, and found Denham. He took a nice touch, one-hander at the end. 41 metres out from goal. The left foot kick goes in the direction of Leonard at the back. He's got it. Just outpointed Simpson there. Just with the longer reach. Was able to get enough purchase on the footy. And Leonard will go back and have a shot on goal for a chance to kick Darley's fourth.
It's just really important that the young players from Melton South don't just ball watch. Like, they need to actually go back and defend and turn when we lose possession, or when Melton South lose possession of the footy, that they actually find a man quicker. Denham stood by himself then for ages and got the ball. And Dazzle Leonard has just kicked the goal.
Leonard gets his first. In his first game back for the Devils. And they get their fourth. Bewley has two. As the party won, Leonard won. It's 4-2-26, Darley. Lead Melton South, no score. Tick over 21 minutes gone in this opening turn.
Look, can't deny the effort of the South boys. I think they're trying really hard. There's just some little things, obviously the class factor. We see here in the ruck again, you have Bewley, Denham and Baker in the middle. Hopefully they can cause a secondary ball up. That'd be great for South here.
Chapman's gone to Bewley. There's the ball up. Tap one by Impey to Bewley. Tried to release the ball in the tackle and was pinged by the umpire that time.
I can't see how he had prior opportunity then.
So Chapman with ball in hand goes inside 50. Caddy the target. Cut off then again there by Brett. He's got Denham short. If he wants in, he'll go there. Ball went 6 foot in the air. Denham still had to jump and take an overhead mark on half-back. The former Blood and Cobra. Now Devil, left foot kick in the Bewley direction. Rubbed his hands before the ball got to him. Nice little bump off the footy there by Chapman. Allowed White to send the ball towards half forward. Foot race on in earnest here. Patea and Sullivan. Knocks the ball out towards Denham, who started well. The ball gets switched towards Sullivan, in fact, who's donning the white boots. Decides to go by hand to Ankrum. He can get it back if he wants. Kick across the body's okay. Hopeful more than anything else. Now will it bounce? Myers had two to beat in the air. Might have caught one over the shoulder. Umpire said no. And there'll be a ball up on half forward for Darley broadcast side. Kicking to the city end. Against the slight breeze in this opening term. Out of the congestion goes Sullivan by hand. Probably went to the voice of Kamara. He's probably heard that a few times over the years. Miller into the side today. Couldn't find a teammate. Fell into the hands of Azapati, who went forward. Ground level ball. Chance here for Wild. Find it over towards Theo, who went towards Lee. So Lee, Theo and Fino all came up together. At our next stoppage, just tell the broader audience the difference between the three.
Look, Reece Lee's probably more a Dowler lockdown type defender, to be honest. Riley Theo was a highly promising junior, was on the Western Jets list. Has probably struggled the last year and a half. This year he's had some really good senior footy, playing off half back, which is good to see. And who was the other one, Todd? Sorry.
Fino.
Yeah, Fino. Look, Fino's he's a bull for his size. He's an absolute bull. He's look, in a good side, he'd be a perfect forward pressure forward, half forward, just laying tackles and kicking goals. He'd be that sort of player. He's a bull. He's a bit of a coach's favourite, Fino.
Darley lead by 26 points. 24 minutes gone opening term. The tackle from Bishop at ground level was good. Bewley fired the hand pass out, meant for Impey. Fino gathered cleanly with an awkward ball and made it look easier than what it was. There's that kick you speak of, Heath. It was an errant kick and it's been cut off by Lawler, who switches play to half-back. There goes Page. Ran onto the football, got a favourable bounce. He's got time to go to Azapati. He's got Matricati over the top if he wants him, and led it further afield with the overlap, but he gave it to Cousins, who nearly spent it before he had it. Goes with the squarey kick to Bishop, and he's got it. Juggling mark. And Bishop will go back and have a shot on goal from about 15 metres out directly in front.
You just see as soon as they won the footy, the spread from Darley and got her out in the open, and it was off to the races really. So it's just got to be those kicks inside forward 50. You just need to have a bit more precision, but also the south forwards have to present. They have to come up at the football. They're not going to get it out the back.
Bishop kicks Darley's fifth, and Darley extend 5-2-32. Lead Melton Sound. No score, 25 minutes gone in this opening term. We're going to get some scores from around the grounds in just a few moments. It's Melton hosting Bacchus Marsh, East Point v Redan, Sebastopol and the Lakers, and Ballarat and North Ballarat. Important game for North Ballarat, Heath. They've only won 3 of their last 11. They've beaten Redan, Melton South, and the Lakers. That's just been about it, really.
Yeah, they're sort of, you wouldn't say underachieved, because obviously they haven't recruited a lot of players. They've kind of gone within. Brendan McCartney's sort of gone with his younger blokes and gone within, but
Impey to Baker. He got it to Bewley, who went to half forward. Seems to drop what he should have taken. Grand ball opportunity. Bishop with the pressure, who's conceded a free kick. Go on, Heath.
Sorry, mate. It's an interesting dynamic for such a strong club like North Ballarat to be that sort of form line, to be honest.
So Bibby with that awkward kicking style. There's another turnover kick to Page, who started well in 2023. When doesn't he, I guess? Found Matricati. Overcooked the kick, meant for Cadman. Pressure held without it there was Theo every day of the week. The umpire was ball watching. Ball fell into the hands of Sullivan. He had a kick across the body. And Sullivan kicks one against his own side.
Yeah, it's always great to see blokes that used to play for you kick a goal, Todd. So Billy's a good player. He'll fit in well at Darley. It was a nice goal.
I've just got to check that this is the seniors. Redan 12-7-79, lead East Point 1-3-9. That can't be right.
They're not playing at McPherson Park,
They cannot be right. And North Ballarat 3 straight 18, lead Ballarat no score. Sebastopol 21, lead Lake Binderee 2. Well, we've got our good man Sammy, who's covering that game at Eastern Oval for Red Onion. We'll get a score from him at quarter time. Bit of rain about now, as Chapman will get his first genuine clearance. Awkward kicking style onto that left boot. Tumbling one at that. Fell into the hands of Lawler, who went by the right boot, and that wind just got hold of it like one of my tee-offs on a Sunday afternoon, Heath. Out of bounds.
Bit of a slice, Todd.
Yeah, I'd like to say a fade, mate, but it is probably a slice by definition. As Sullivan again, the previous goal kicker, conceded ground by hand to Ankrum and went back to Brent. This kick has to be good on the non-preferred, and it was. So Cousins went into the middle of half-back and fouled Baker, who ran away under the left boot. Kick meant for Bewley, went over the head of White, but just ran onto Bishop. He didn't have to break stride, went inboard by the hand to Lawler. Threw the ball on the boot, tumbling one at that. Matricati got leg break there by the footing. Cadman's tap found Impey, got it to Adam Azapati, further afield to Page with a shot on goal, and he's got it. Page kicks Darley's, sixth goal late in this opening term as we go into the 29th minute. Darley, they're now 7 goals. They're 7-2-44, Melton South, no score. Bit of breeze and some rain about, Pete.
Yeah, it looks like it's blowing around a bit at the moment. The trees are starting to really get rock and roll. So one can only hope that Darley are kicking with it, Todd, for the second quarter.
Speaking of players kicking goals against you, Braden Wood, he must, while we were here watching the final quarter of that reserves game, I reckon he's had 9 shots on goal and kicked 5 for the former Panther. Of course, the reserves winning by 200 points.
You're just trying to upset me here, Todd, with all these blokes that have left our club.
Matt Riccardi out of the middle for the Devils, goes in the Myers direction. Second grabber, couldn't hang on to it. There's some good defensive pressure there from the Panthers. But they couldn't get away from the would-be tackler there in Bishop, who was just there to pounce, and the tackle was terrific, albeit obscured the vision. So Bishop will have a chance to go back and kick his second of the afternoon. Bewley, the only multiple goal scorer, as a party, Leonard, Page and Sullivan. And now Bishop joins Bewley with a second goal of the afternoon, and Darley get their 8th and some separation on the scoreboard. Albeit further, 8-2-50 now, and reward for straight shooting on goal. Lead Melton South no score.
Yeah, getting good shots on goal from close range, it's always going to make it easier to convert. So, yeah, just need to try and stop the floodgates here a bit, the Panthers. I was quite happy with the first 15-16 minutes, to be honest, Todd. I thought they held in pretty well, but the floodgates have started to open a bit here, so just got to try and get ourselves back in the game.
So it'll be Johns, and he won that tap money as far as Kavara couldn't gather cleanly. This man could have. Speaking of Bewley, went by hand to Baker from 42 metres, sets off for the charge. It went over the head of Hoyland, and a good use to the body by Myers, and Baker gets the Devils' 9th goal. Well, that was all too easy. That's a Thursday night training drill when you get it on your own terms. Falls into the head. Well, Kavarik, he just crucial fumble, couldn't take the footy. Bewley said, if you don't want it, I'll have it. Yeah, he gave it to Baker and goal.
Yeah, you just can't make mistakes against good players. So, look, I don't know what the answer is here. Do you start dropping blokes behind the footy? You start dropping blokes behind the footy, though, then when you do actually get it forward, it becomes nearly impossible to score. So it's a tough predicament for the coaching box. There's no doubt about that.
Overcast conditions here. I don't think the wind or the rain will save the Panthers today. Darley now lead by 56. Tap won by Impey. Bewley at ground level, couldn't gather cleanly. Adam Azapati said, I'll have it. As the siren sounds for quarter time here. Darley 9 goals to 56. Lead Melton South, no score. The goal scorers for Darley. Brett Bewley has 2, Dylan Bishop 2, and 1 each to Luther Baker, Andrew Azapati, Darren Leonard, Shane Page, and Billy Sullivan. Well, Heath, the further that quarter went, the better the Devils looked.
Yeah, no doubt. The class factor's there, and by getting first use of the ball, as we said at the start, you know, it's a game, it's a ground where you can score fast here at the Rec Reserve. So when you're getting such easy clearance out of the middle, it's very, very hard for the defenders to defend, and South really need to probably try and look at that. Impey's obviously dominant in the ruck. Baker, all the on-ballers, Baker, Brett Bewley have had plenty of it. So Denon, it's going to be a tough day at the office for the South boys. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a share fest at the moment. As you said, Melton South quite competitive in the first 12 minutes of the game, but forced to suffer the consequences of some poor execution, especially by foot made to play by the Devils on the spread. So those of you that are tuning in online, I can tell you that there is a correction in that score, as we did think. Redan 29, lead East Point 9. So it's not 79 to 9, it's 29 to 9. So a well-earned break. We'll be back with the second quarter action in about 5 minutes' time.
That quarter was proudly sponsored by Anytime Fitness, 72 Bennett Street, Bacchus Marsh. Mention BFL Game Day on Apple 98.5 FM to receive 50% off your joining fee, plus a free towel and water bottle.
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 5370 1478.
Just
Rustel Proprietary Limited. Phone 0419 568 635. Stop for quality and service for your side cut. Phone the top man Graham Gillespie at Rustel for prompt and expert service. Proud sponsor Apple 98.5 FM.
Stockdale and Lego means real estate because your success is our business. Take a look at our station sponsor website www.stockdaleandlego.com/Bacchusmarsh and like our Facebook page to keep up to date with new listings, open for inspections and rental availabilities. Stockdale and Lego, we are here for you. Proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
I want you to inspire me, and I want to inspire you this football season with our high-quality, locally grown meat. Hop online or give us a call on 5368 1117 or come in store and we will deliver to you free of charge this football season. Proud sponsors of this station, the Land Local Butcher.
Apple 98.5 FM, connecting you to your community.
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 53701478.
This quarter is proudly sponsored by Anytime Fitness, 72 Bennett Street, Bacchus Marsh. Mention BFL Game Day on Apple 98.5 FM to receive 50% off your joining fee plus a free towel and water bottle.
Discover your community on Apple 98.5 FM.
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 53701478.
This quarter is proudly sponsored by Anytime Fitness, 72 Bennett Street, Bacchus Marsh. Mention BFL Game Day on Apple 98.5 FM to receive 50% off your joining fee plus a free towel and water bottle.
Community radio made in Bacchus Marsh. Apple 98.5 FM.
Rustel Proprietary Limited. Phone 0419 568 635. Stop for quality and service for your side cut. Phone the top man Graham Gillespie at Rustel for prompt and expert service. Proud sponsor Apple 98.5 FM.
Stockdale and Lego means real estate because your success is our business. Take a look at our station sponsor website www.stockdaleandlego.com/Bacchusmarsh and like our Facebook page to keep up to date with new listings, open for inspections and rental availabilities. Stockdale and Lego, we are here for you. Proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
I want you to inspire me, and I want to inspire you this football season with our high-quality, locally grown meat. Hop online or give us a call on 5368 1117 or come in store and we will deliver to you free of charge this football season. Proud sponsors of this station, the Land Local Butcher.
Apple 98.5 FM, connecting you to your community.
Welcome back to the Melton Rec Reserve. Round 6 action here. It's Darley on the road. They lead 9-2-56. Melton South known to score. Goal scorers for Darley. Brett Bewley with 2, Dylan Bishop 2, 1 each to Baker, Azzopardi, Leonard, Page and Sullivan. And obviously no contributors on the goal front from the Panthers. So scores from around the grounds. Redan lead East Point 28-9. North Ballarat 19, lead Ballarat 7. No score from Mackie Park in the Cobras game. Sebastopol lead Lake Bindaree 22-3. I'll have a score from you in the Bacchus Marsh game. We'll have Spence Jenks out there who'll get back to us with a score. So you're very interested to see, Heath, the opening bounce here. You're expecting Bewley and Baker to go to their preferred left side.
Well, it's interesting. They've swapped over. Bewley's now in front of the stoppage, and Luther's gone to the sweeper role. So that probably changes a bit of what we were talking about earlier, where Brett was able to get the ball onto his left side quite frequently. So Impey seemed to be knocking the ball to about 3 o'clock, but that's where Denham's standing at the moment. So be very interested to see where Impey tries to direct this first centre knock.
Second quarter underway here. Ball up, tap one by Impey. Flip to Denham if you don't mind. Got him early. And Denham, one of three midfield left footers, plays on to Lahure, who goes short. Cadman dropped what he should have taken. Good strength there from Azapani. Was all too easy. Ran away from Rogers. Right foot kick inside the forward line. Ball spills free. Panthers just hanging on just as White softens the ball forward and over the line for a boundary throw in. 40 metres around from the Darley goal.
Rogers is good. Like, Rogers can kick a goal, but he's just got to tackle harder than that. Like, he can't just go to the contest at that sort of pace. He's got to hit the contest harder.
Healthy crowd giving the positions on the ladder, but the two clubs have been rivals for a long time now, Heath.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good crowd, the Darley Melton South crowd. So fingers crossed the Panthers can hit the scoreboard a little bit this quarter.
Throw in, tap one by Impey, went straight to Denham, thought he was held without it, but the umpire let it go, fell in the hands of Bishop, left foot kick across the body, Leonard comes out and takes a mark on the chest. And we'll go back and have a shot on goal here from about 20 metres out for goal number 2. Well, he's just keeping it simple, Leonard. He's the old-fashioned play in front jobby.
Play in front. The kick wasn't a great one, but he was in front. It dropped short. He marked the footy. So Leonard using all his experience, and he'll throw this for sure.
Yeah, makes no mistake. And Leonard gets his second. The Devils get their first inside 2 minutes of this second term. They're 10-2-62. They lead Melton South, no score. So Denham been very much the focus point of the 3 stoppages from the Darley ruckman there in Impey. Found him on 3 occasions.
Here we go.
So there's a switch here.
So Bewley's now going to go to 3 o'clock.
They might be trying to mix up the predictability, Heath.
I reckon the knock's going to go straight between Baker and Bewley, and Bewley will run onto it onto his left foot. There you go. Let's see if I'm right.
East Point have kicked a goal at the Eastern Oval. They're back within 14. They're 2-3-15. Redan 4-5-29. North Ballarat 3-1-19. Lead Ballarat 7. And Sebastopol 3-4-22. Lead Lake Windaree 3 points. So Sebastopol likely to win today. Their 4 wins will be against the bottom 4 sides. So they'll be looking for a like-for-like hit out soon, Heath.
Yeah, I still like Sebas. I think they're a real chance to go all the way. I think it's a Sebas Melton Darley sort of thing.
There goes Impey. Went looking towards Bewley. Nearly found him. Bit of tunnel ball going on. Could have been held without it. The umpire agreed. Little stiff there, White. Spotting use ahead of that stoppage was okay. But it's not easy keeping Bewley at bay.
Such a strong player.
So he's right in the middle of the ground here. Oh, he just got around White, and then another. Oh, that was good pressure there from Riley. Forced the turnover in the end, but the Panthers just happy to give it back. Chance here for Riley to make amends. But it certainly wasn't his error to begin with. In fact,
I've been impressed with Riley as a new recruit. Only 18, 19 years of age. He's a bit of a bull for his age and his size, to be honest.
Just grabbed out of the ruck there by Morrissey. Hat kick forward, cut off there by Cousins, who marked on the attacking side of the middle of the ground. So he goes out in the forward pocket, looking there towards Billy Myers on the bounce. Finally gathered, conceded by Handy Young, high up and under kick. Players set themselves. Cadman, the fly, couldn't take it. Ball at ground level, empty. Spilled it before he got it. Chance here for Theo. Didn't get much clearance on the kick. High up and under. Cut off there by Myers. Umpire didn't pay the mark. Soccer out of the congestion. Went in the middle of the ground for the Panthers. Ankrum was clean and ran away from Patea. Right foot kick inside the attacking 40. Cadman again through a bit of strength there. Tackled as he kicked. Fell favourably to Denham. Left foot kick. Guess who? Leonard's got it again. Plugger Leonard.
I think you're going to play in front of him, Todd, to be brutally honest. Like that's 3 times he's marked the ball in front of his man with just a bit of a tumble kick out of a stoppage. So it's a worry. Darren could kick a number of goals today.
Yeah, he's a beautiful kick of the football, makes no mistake. He might end up with bursitis on the foot today. Give him a spell from that knee injury that he's had over the early weeks of the season. Leonard gets his third. Darley get their 11th. They're 11-2-68. They lead Melton South, no score. 5 minutes gone, second term. Yeah, it's a fair observation of yours, Heath, on those getting those shots on goal. When I commented on the importance and the value of accurate kicking for goal, but if you're getting those close chances on goal, it does make it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, it does. Certainly does indeed. It's a tough one. And again, with the centre square dominance, you can see here Bewley's now sweeping, tipping that the ball go between him and Luther Baker here, and Baker will block and Bewley will go.
Almost, and a chance here for Baker out of the middle. Fired the hand pass out towards centre wing. Morrissey came off and then just fed it back into the traffic. Matt Triccardi was strong through the tackle, gave it to Bewley, who ran his 15 metres, put the ball onto the left boot, found Myers, who's taken a mark just inside the boundary line. Right, very acute angle. Toughest in football. I don't know how deep these pockets are here. You're a chance for kicking them over there, Heath?
Look, Billy's a good player, so you could see him just sneaking around a little bit and kicking a goal, to be honest.
So he goes to the outside, banana
goal.
kick. I think he snuck it through Myers. And he has. He gets his first. And he joins in the party here at Melton Rec Reserve. They're 12-2-74. They lead Melton South, no score. Now, I guess you have been spoilt. Not necessarily on the win-loss front here, Heath, but you have seen one Duncan Conway slot a few at this very ground from the impossible.
Yeah, look, I think one thing that did happen last year is even though we got beaten a few games, we did kick some pretty big scores, getting beaten, especially in the first half of last season. So Dylan used to like playing at the Rec Reserve, that's for sure.
Yeah, just 26 points separated these two sides at their last meet. There's the tap by Impey. Got it to Adam Azapati, back to the ruckman in Impey. High up and under kick, went inside 50. Bewley in front, the fly couldn't take the mark. The shark was there from Johnson. Right foot kick. Off to the right through for a minor score.
It's just really important here for Melton South that they don't lose it totally and go back in their shell. They've just got to try and make sure they can maintain possession when they've got the footy, now that they've got their hand on it in the back half.
So Lee to bring the ball back into play. Ignored that lead of Morrissey. Probably really a good call because he just led straight up the ground. Anyway, he gets some territory out of defence. And a chance here for Green. His kick was intercepted there by Cousins, who got it to Lawler, back to Cousins, who kept running and got it back. Adam Azapati, right foot kick across the body, and Van Leaf, the youngster, comes out and takes a mark on the chest. And another one of those kicks that seemingly fell short, Heath, and the Devil forward again found in front.
Yeah, in front, and goal number 13 coming up. Again, it's a shot at goal, 20 metres out. So they're not tricky shots on goal, but the Devils are getting here.
He makes no mistake. Reward for forward 50 entries here. The Devils, they're maxing it out here at the Rec Reserve. They're 13-381 if you don't mind. Melton South, no score. Trey Van Leaf gets his first. So where to for the Panthers, Heath? They're obviously in a world of hurt at the moment on field. Last week going down to the Lakers by 100 points. But it's good to see the club fielding three sides and having a dip. Even though there's a golf in the class differences. Matt Triccardi into the middle now, got it to Brodie Ward. Mitch out of the side today with a calf strain. Found Joel Cadman. Duncan missing with a sore neck. Went inboard, found Cousins. Left foot kick. Now by towards Van Leet, set himself. Took a nice overhead mark, the youngster. Full of confidence after that last goal. Squaring kick, found Joel Cadman, who kept running. Yeah, none of the Panthers running with him, and he was able just to run inside that 40-metre arc that we've labelled and take an uncontested mark and a chance for a shot on goal to kick his first of the afternoon.
Look, they've just got to defend better than what they are at the moment, South. Look, I understand they're not getting their hands on the footy, which makes it really, really tough. But the actual ability to find a man and locate has just been found wanting. And again, that happened last week against Lake Wendouree, where they took numerous marks inside forward 50 without players around them. The South guys, the half forwards especially, have to make sure that they actually man up and make guys accountable. At the moment, there's just too many guys running around by themselves when Darley have the footy.
Joel Cabin makes no mistake, gets Darley's 14th of the afternoon. They're 14-387. Lead Melton South, no score. Melton 3-2-20, lead Bacchus Marsh 4 behinds. Redan 5-5-35, lead East Point 3-4-22. North Ballarat 5-2-32, lead Ballarat 1-1-7. Sebastopol 22, lead Lake Wendouree 4. So goals raining here. Back in the middle of the ground, tap one by Impey. Just knocked it into his opposing ruckman there in Johns. They kept knocking the ball forward. Somehow fell into the hands of Fino, who backed himself and ran 8 or 9 metres. Awkward looking handball. Hand pass it behind Bibby, made it difficult for him. Ricocheted off his body to the hands of Sullivan, who found Cousins, who went back into traffic. Now he's forced to do his own bit of defensive work after coughing it up, and there'll be a ball up on half back.
Just nearly got out, nearly took the right option, just didn't execute, unfortunately.
Ball up, tap one by Impey. Baker, bailed up by Bibby.
I'd be quite happy to see this for a little bit, Todd, to be honest. Let's just get some repeat stoppages. Let's just slow the game down a bit here for Melton South.
Impey over the top of the tap, only as far as Bibby. Fired the hand pass out to Fino. Tumbling kick inside 40. It's been cut off there by Lahura, who switches play, comes broadcast side into our black spot here. It sits okay for Cousins, who's tackled by Caddy. Keeps it in though. Fired the hand pass out to Brett, who took advantage of the overlap and found Ankrum, who continued along the line as the party dropped what he should have taken. Was pinged and taken to the ground by Theo, and lucky to get away with it in the end. I'll tell you what, that missed mark was almost a prior, really, Heath.
Yeah, well, that tackle there by Theo, that's one that the coaches should be showing all the Melton South players during the week. They've just been broken in tackle too often. Caddy down here just a minute ago just got broken through too easy by Mace Cousins.
Umpire put the whistle in the mouth and then said play on as Ankrum just hacked the ball forward in the Bewley direction. He stood up in front of White. White went to ground. So did Wild. Chance here for Johnson. Now Adam Azzopardi got it to Page, tackled, good defensive pressure there from the Panthers, and they'll get out of trouble in the Morrissey direction. Leonard went the spoil to the aid of the boundary line, kept in one of the 3 boundary lines around Melton South here today, before the umpire said no, it's gone over lane 1.
Could have nearly been too high that against Aidan Riley there. He
on Matricardi.
Yeah, could have been easily, but he got away with that one.
13th minute here at Melton Rec Reserve. Darley 87, lead Melton South, no score. Here's the throw in. It's Cadman. Ball at ground level. Matricardi thrown out of the contest. Hurry tick out of the congestion from Morrissey. Only went as far as Sullivan, who took on the tackle of Riley and just got through it. Denham caught one high. Umpire let it go. Found Bishop, gathered on the half volley, went back into the tackle. And the umpire said, I'll have it, and there'll be a ball up on half forward.
Just that's got to be a key here. Melton South just cannot let Darley keep breaking tackles like they are.
Chance here for Morrissey. He's had a hell of handy minutes.
Look, he's trying really hard, Jack Morrissey, to be fair. Like he's barely 6'1", 6'2". He's skinny. He's trying to ruck it against bigger guys, and you know, it's a tough gig when you're not a ruckman. You haven't rucked in your life and you get thrown in at the age of 26 or whatever it is.
Another tackle there from Theo to deny Bishop a runaway. Tap one by Johnson on that occasion. Ball gets knocked forward. How will it sit for Joel Cadman? In his way, there was the youngster there in, might have been Muse.
Yeah, it was Muse, yep.
And there'll be a ball up 40 metres out from the Darley goal.
Look, I like the fact that they're playing these kids. I like the fact that Muse is getting the game, Absalom's getting the game. You know, you can't afford to play them every week. They're just so small. They're going to be rotated in and out, but get some games into them and see what they can do at senior level.
Right on half forward, ball up, tap one by Johnson. He's been the fourth man used in the ruck and probably still got some height on Morrissey. So it'll be Johnson and Morrissey. Give that tap to Johnson. Did his own roving in the end before he's bailed up by Theo. Kabarik's tackle on Denham will generate a ball up here. Oh no, he's been pinged. So don't mind the umpire breaking it up there. Just give it a free kick that wasn't necessarily there, as Theo combines by hand to Green. He got it back. Now this kick needs to be good, and it was okay. It was safe, and they combined by hand back to Theo, who went looking for Wild and missed the target. Now there'll be a boundary throw in 20 metres around from the Darley goal.
Straight away you can see the difference then. Melton South won the ball, started to switch play, and Darley just pushed very, very hard across to the other side of the ground to make sure there was no easy exits. Darley, on the other hand, when that's happening to Melton South, are getting the ball out easily on the far side.
Tap one by Johnson, only as far as wide. It wouldn't sit for him. When he bent to gather the ball in his boot, and momentum set the ball forward over the line for a boundary throw-in.
I think it's advantageous for a club like Darley having guys like Bewley, Billy Myers, Mace Cousins, etc. Just showing and leading the way with the work rate you have to, the sort of work rate you have to have when you have the footy and when you don't have the footy. And I've got no doubt that they'd be leading the way at training and on the track.
Ball at ground level. It's a scrum of sorts. Bees to a honeypot before the umpire will come in and effect a ball up. 39 metres out from the Darley goal. Yeah, the score in the background is right. It is 14-3 to no score here, second quarter. All gets stumped forward. Chance here for the Devils. Across the body goes Cadman. Kick was smothered in the end. Chance for the Panthers, but they cough it up to Bewley, who has a pot shot at the goals. And he misses off to the right for a rare miss. He's second behind of the afternoon. Darley's fourth. They're 14-4, 88. They lead Melton South no score. They waste no time bringing the ball back into the play. And a couple of executions by foot. Don't see them out of their defensive 40 yet, and the kick's been cut off there. Third kick out of defence, cut off by Johnson. Long kick to the top of the square, right, the Flyers at the back. Bewley's one of those. Half a dozen players around the footy before Bishop's tackled and taken to the ground. And there'll be a ball up on the goal line. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. The Panthers will want to knock it through. Ball up. Ball at ground level. Somehow they kept it in, the Panthers, through Chapman. Fired the hand pass out to Kavarik with a high up and under kick to half back. Johns dropped what he should have taken. Out the back goes Patea. Kicks into an open half forward line. Brett at the back took a nice mark over the youngster in Caddy. And he'll switch play to broadcast side to Young, who just doesn't stop running. Young had Bewley, but elected to go back to Lahoure. He'll play on through the middle. Telegraphed hair pass was okay to Young. Hit the ground running. Right foot kick in the Leonard direction. He's got it on half forward. True set half forward here. Probably too far out to score. Right foot kick out in the pocket. Goes in the Myers direction. And Myers takes a nice mark on the chest. A bit of separation on the Panthers' defence.
And it's remiss of me not to talk about Matty Brett as well. Another guy with VFL experience. And then obviously Young is on Footscray's list. Is that right, Todd?
Yes, indeed.
Yep, so there's another guy that's training at VFL level all the time. So you can see that the Devils have really recruited well over the last couple of years and reaping the benefits of that.
So Myers, squaring kick, found Johnson, and he'll have a shot on goal to kick his first of the afternoon. Normally a good kick, Johnson. Commentator's curse, kicked it across the face, missed everything at the end. Out of bounds on the full.
It's interesting to note the other night when you were speaking to Billy Myers, Todd, that he said his sort of preference was to play sort of half back, but he's found a spot up forward in the Devils lineup at the moment. Be interesting to see what happens against Melton and those sorts of sides where Billy finds himself playing.
That is a fair call when the trumps are against, but you're still going to get it done offensively, but Leonard's presenting well, and the Panthers will get out of trouble. That kick was sort of poorly timed off the boot, but had enough to find Green, who got it back to Kavarik, back to the youngster there in Evans. Hurried kick, cut off opportunity here for the Devils, and they're away. And the kick's marked there by Johnson on half forward. Too far out to score, goes out of the pocket. Myers the target, sets himself. Second grab, got it. And Myers will go back and have a shot on goal. Just a little bit too much strength through the core, holding up there and outpointing the Panthers defenders. And he'll go back and had a chance at goal number 2.
Yeah, there was 3 defenders there. The back defender had to kill the footy. I don't know what you're trying to do, Mark, the footy 3 back. So just kill the ball. Punch the ball and punch it hard. Make it hard for him.
So Myers, that's a fair dinkum shank. That can go with one of my chips to one of those drives from earlier on. That whole backman thing started to make sense. Heath, looking at that, but you probably wouldn't want those exit kicks coming out of the back line either.
Yeah, he's usually a pretty good user of the ball, Billy, so I think we just put that down to the one bad one for the year.
Mulligan, kick out of defence, being cut off again by the pressing Devils, this time by Cousins. Will go inboard to Leonard, couldn't take the mark. Opportunity here for the Panthers to clear to a 2-on-1. Cousins all class with the lead over Bibby. The nice contested mark, the first real mark of flair of the afternoon. Left foot kick there from Cousins. Players fly, Bewley one of those, couldn't take the mark. Gavin was bailed up there. Through traffic goes Bishop, squeezed the ball out towards Cadman. Johnson, in fact. Maybe a ball up. About 15 metres away from the Darley goal. 150 metres away from us, mind you. Morrissey, quick hands was okay. Clearing kick got towards half back for the Panthers. Cut off there by an unlikely source in there at Impey. Miss Young with the hand pass, and he disappointed with that, the big fella. Foot race on in earnest. Fino goes to socket to out of centre wing. Ankrum, agility was good. Conceded ground by hand to Baker. Went in the middle of the ground of Denham. Had to break the tackle of Absalom. Finally did. Put Baker under the pump, and he was up to the task. And he'll take a free kick. Umpire paid the advantage. Through Matty Brett, he got it to Brodie Ward, who went further afield. A couple of youngsters combining to Van Leith. Squaring kick to Andy as a party. He'll weigh up the options and look to go forward. Bit of a grubbery kick and a chance of Chapman to clear for the Panthers, who found Morrissey. Next kick all important. He goes in the Miller direction. He's at the back. He took a nice grab, the youngster on Dabu. He plays on the big fella. Right foot kick inside half forward, cutting the target. And Matty Brett, juggling attempt at the mark was an absolute beauty.
Great mark.
And Brett with ball in hand on the last line, full of confidence after dismantling Cody Brand last week. The former Essendon AFL listed forward. Brett was terrific. And the Devils get out of defence through Brodie Ward. Left foot kick in the Leonard direction. Crash he went and knocked the ball to ground. Johnson rode the wave at the tackle. Did well and then gave the hand pass out to Van Leith. How about that for an almost gather from Cadman it was. Plays on by hand to Van Leith. He's got leg speed, this kid. How's the finish? It's a good one. And Van Leith gets his second here at Melton. Rec reserve, coast-to-coast goal there for the Devils.
Yeah, very good mark by Matt Brett. Thought the Panthers were in to kick a goal then, and took a good mark and straight away bang out their far side, and good work by Brodie Ward, good use of the footy. And
Baker through the middle was
Baker through the middle.
Terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. It's lining up at the moment, unfortunately. So fingers crossed we can try and get a score before half time.
Darley 15-5-95 lead Melton South, no score. Darley led by 56 points at quarter time. They allowed lead by 95. Centre clearance opportunity there for Jones. Could have been held without it. Johns, in fact, umpire called play on. Morrissey took the would-be tackler on and then was forced just to give it away in the end. And Young was on the receiving end of that hand pass. Kick went to half forward. Leonard got it on the second grab. Good pressure there from Hoyland. Umpire didn't pay the throw. Sullivan rode the tackle. Was able to gain about 15 metres free side by hand. Only as far as White. Awkward looking kick in the middle of the ground. Clean bowled everybody. Now here's a chance of the Panthers as they go into attack. Grubbery ball. Lahure had to be strong because Cuddy was waiting in the back. The youngster, he chopped one over the shoulder right in front of the umpire, if you don't mind. And Lahure will take the resultant free kick and get the Devils out of trouble. There's that Style who found Ankrum. It went short to Page. You go over the top here. towards Matricati, overcooked the kick. Fino's there, that's a push every day of the week. Umpire agreed. That was a lazy concede. Cough up there from Matricati. And the Panthers through Fino will have a chance to rebound off halfback. East Point 32, trailed Redan 42. Short kicks okay to Bridges, who marks just in front of the Darley coach's box. Kick over the top, meant for Patea. Kept it in somehow. Difficult to work out which line's which here. Kick to half forward. Out comes Caddy. Chance here for his first real crack at it. Left foot kick across the body. Into attack. Good use of the body by Chapman. Outside of the right boot. And he's put it through.
Good boy. They worked hard then.
Well, it was a one-on-one on Sullivan, actually. So,
yeah,
it might have been a fitting little tribute there from Chapman to his ex-teammate.
No, well, it's been a tough day so far at the office, and to be honest, you've got to admire these blokes that keep coming up and rolling out and playing every week. You know, Chapman, Fino, Theo, Reece Lee, Kovrak, Morrissey. They keep putting their hand up and stayed loyal in a tough situation, you know, so it's pleasing for them to get a goal there.
New 26 minutes gone, second term. Panthers get there first. They're trailed by 89 points. No real clean exit out of that restart.
It's just been amazing that centre bounce at the hit has gone to the same spot nearly every single time. It'd be really nice to see if South can try and clog that area up and make Darley do something different.
Morrissey just pushed Impey in the back to get himself into the contest and then threw the ball onto the boot, only gained a metre or so. The umpire's paid out a free kick here. It's going to go against the Panthers. It'll go to Page. On Kavarik, and Page was told to play on by the umpire. Goes forward to a vacant space. Dancy, the gather was terrific. The push-off even better for Myers, who got it to Denham. Here's the response from the Devils. And Denham gets his first of the afternoon, chiming in. And to combine for Darley's 16th. Well, there was a nice bit of footy there from the Devils. Myers was terrific with the gather and fend off and handball, and Denham all class with the finish.
Yeah, Denham's standing 20 metres clear by himself though, so you've got to question where his opponent is. It's not as though it was a fast play where the Devils got a turnover and you were running forward and you got caught out. So again, it's about where locating your man, not ball watching. It just appears to me that the South boys keep going to the fall of the ball all the time and not necessarily thinking about where their man is. And
right
again,
on
the same knock.
Impey to Baker. Centre clearance, left foot kick. Myers the target. He's got a better purchase on this one. Second grab at it, couldn't hang on. Umpire called play on. Rebound will come here from the Panthers defence. That was a nice gather there from the youngster there in Evans. Ball gets towards centre wing. Absalom in front. Good use of the body there by Cousins, but it's got an awkward bounce. Good contest there from Absalom. Just make sure the ball went over the line for a throw-in.
Don't know much about young Evans, but he's done okay. He's had a few possessions and certainly hasn't been afraid to put his head over the footy, which is pleasing.
Boundary throw-in. Impey pushed again there by Morrissey. Umpire let it go. That's 3 times in a row he's done that. He's just rolling the dice, really. Heath flirting with danger, taking the umpire on.
Well, he's 6'10", maybe he shouldn't get shoved out the way that easy, mate.
Yeah, well. Ball up. Now Impey.
There you go, straight back at you.
He gave Morrissey a bit of his own and knocked it forward. How about that gather from White? Classy gather. Right foot kick was poor, though, in the end. Well read off the boot there by Cousins, who didn't commit to the Absalom lead. Left foot kick from Cousins. Meant for Adam Azzopardi. Cut off. Baker held by the arm. And the sun of the eyes of the umpire is actually over there at the end, and they run away here, the Panthers. They go inside 40. And the mark's been taken on the chest. Deep into attack here. And the Panthers will go back and have a shot on goal.
I've got no doubt that I've got no doubt that Dan Jordan will be wanting Impey to stand up and be stronger than that though in the contest, and he needs to be, because he's going to come up against some brutes in this league in Ruckman, and for the Darley to go as well as that they possibly can this year, he needs to play a key role.
So it'll be Rogers from under the roof. Banana snap on goal is off to the right through for a minor score.
You know, the other young bloke we haven't mentioned who was key in the play there is young Bibby, who's a good player. I really rate him. We've got, to be honest, so far this year, it wouldn't be surprising me if he was winning Melton South's best and fairest, to be honest.
How about the kick from Bewley in the middle of the ground, though, to a 2-on-1. Myers did the right thing, gave the ball to Matt Riccardi. Open ball opportunity here for Van Leith. He's a racehorse. White's not real slow either. But the shot on goal from Van Leith's gone straight over the goal umpire's hat. 3 disposals, one end to the other, if you don't mind. Darley get their 17th. Van Leith gets his 3rd.
That was a goal in literally 5 seconds, Todd. So he's Bewley's got the ball, kicked it into the middle of the ground as he does. Stoppage, no one running with the wingman or the half forward who's out by himself, and he just rolls into an open forward line. So
Matt Riccardi to Van Leith, goal.
Easy as you like.
Redan lead East Point by 16 points. Melton lead Bacchus Marsh by 30. Sebastopol lead Lake Windaree by 25. And North Ballarat lead Ballarat by 35.
I like the fact they put Aidan Riley in the middle. Here's Melton South. Give the kid a chance. He's a strong kid over the footy, number 4. He's on Luther Baker, who's a tough player as well. So, and he won the ball then, Riley.
Yep, won by Impey, went to that area, was sharked there by Riley, who gained about 8 metres for his side. Baker fired the hand pass there towards Lahure, who knocked it further afield to Cousins, might have cut one high, the umpire let it go, but now he'll ping him for holding the ball.
And again, Aidan Riley's the one that laid the tackle. He's a good kid and he's gone hard.
Good work rate to work right across there, Riley. So he's got Patea short if he wants him, and finds him.
He's got to read up at the footy here, Caddy. You can't play 10 metres, 15 metres behind Matt Brett. He's just going to lay off, and look at that.
Yeah, nice block there from Brett on Fino, who wanted the free kick. Allowed Impey to take the mark, who got it to Ankrum into the middle of the ground. Cousins found Bewley on centre wing. Will measure the kick towards Van Leith, who's been a dangerous forward presence in this second term. He's kicked 3 of his own. Tumbling, awkward-looking kick towards half forwards. Okay. And it's a chance here for the Devils through Andy Azzopardi. He'll go back and have a shot on goal for goal number 2 and goal number 18 for the Devils to match their 9-goal haul of the opening term. 11 goal scorers for Darley in this opening half, led by Darren Leonard 3, Brett Bewley 2, Dylan Bishop 2 and Trey Van Leith 3. And Azzopardi can become the Devils' 5th multiple goal scorer of the opening half.
Siren's gone, and it's a goal.
Yeah, it's a rip-up. Darley have matched, or outscored their opening term, actually. They kicked 9-3 for the quarter to move into the half-time break with an overwhelming advantage. They're 18-5, if you don't mind, 113. They lead Melton South 117. It's a 106-point lead to Darley, and we're just halfway in. The goal scorers for Darley, Darren Leonard and Trey Van Leith have 3 each, 2 each to Brett Bewley, Andy Azzopardi and Dylan Bishop, whilst 1 each to Matt Denham, Luther Baker, Billy Myers, Joel Cadman, Shane Page and Billy Sullivan, whilst for the Panthers, Cody Chapman has their solitary goal in that term, but Billy Sullivan will owe him a beer for outpointing him there before kicking that goal in the outside of the right boot. But it's all the Devils here at Melton Rec Reserve. It'll be a hard watch for you, Heath, a former coach of the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's not an easy year. It hasn't been an easy year all season so far, and hopefully the second half we can get a bit more of the footy and work a bit harder, and well, not work harder. Look, there's no doubt what guys are trying. But just being outpointed at the moment, so hopefully a bit more on the scoreboard would be nice, especially for the people that have come to the Rec Reserve today.
Half-time, a break. We'll just give you the scores before we head into the main break. North Ballarat lead Ballarat by 35. Redan lead East Point at Eastern Oval by 16. Melton lead Bacchus Marsh by 30. Cobra's still goalless. And Sebastopol lead Lake Windaree by 25. But it's all the Devils here at Melton Rec Reserve. They lead 18 goals, 5, 113, a 106-point lead here. Melton South 117. A break and back with the third quarter action in about 15 minutes' time.
That corner was proudly sponsored by Anytime Fitness, 72 Bennett Street, Bacchus Marsh. Mention BFL Game Day on Apple 98.5 FM to receive 50% off your joining fee, plus a free towel and water bottle.
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 5370-1478.
I want you to inspire me, and I want to inspire you this football season with our high-quality, locally grown meat. Hop online or give us a call on 5368 117 or come in store and we will deliver to you free of charge this football season. Proud sponsors of this station, the Land Local Butcher.
The property management team at Stockdale and Rego Bacchus Marsh are currently giving gift cards for any referrals that result in properties being managed by them. Contact station sponsor Stockdale and Rego and ask for Jade Darley or Emily Closter on 5367 5700. Stockdale and Rego, we are here for you. Proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
Rusdale Proprietary Limited phone 0419 568 635. Just bought your home site, the man to phone for quick and prompt service, Graham Gillespie at Rusdale 0419 568 635. Proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
Community Radio, made in Rural, Apple 98.5 FM.
And be sure to visit the Melton South Football Club next Saturday, the 27th of May. Ladies celebrating ladies tickets, $50 per person. It does include finger food, beer, wine, drag queen performances, raffles, and much more. Contact the club for more information. We'll be back with the second half very shortly, but right now, let's head to the presser.
Community radio made in Bacchus Marsh. Apple 98.5 FM.
Apple 98.5 FM in association with the Ballarat Football League are proud to present The Presser. And now would you please welcome live from our Bacchus Marsh studios your local footy call team, Todd, Fridge and Spence.
Very good evening. Welcome to another episode of The Presser. 5 rounds down. We've got a jam-packed show for you tonight, so stick with us right throughout the hour. We'll take you right up until 9 p.m. Darley President Mark Shelley to join us shortly. Billy Myers, the Darley star recruit, who booted 5 goals in Darley's 56-point win over Sunbury. He'll join us later, along with a couple of young guns of the competition, Riley O'Keefe from Sebastopol and Isaac Grant from Redan. So an impressive lineup. As welcome Spence to the program.
Thanks, Toddy. Good to be here.
We'll go through the results and a few of the goal kickers and stats after we have a quick chat with Mark. Time's at a premium as we welcome and we thank you for coming in, Mark.
Thanks, Toddy. Happy to be here and happy to share some info.
So Mark Shelley, the president of the Darley Football Club, he's been a committee member since 2009 and took over the presidency in 2018 and has held that position since. Mark, the $4 million question that not only the Darley faithful and the broader competition wanting to know the answer to, when's the ETA for a finish, or the time when this amazing new facility is going to be complete?
Yeah, it's a question, Todd, that I've been asked probably hundreds of times and more so in recent months, but as we can see now, the pavilion is certainly getting towards the final stages, and the advice we've received as recently as yesterday is that the completion is towards the end of this month, towards the end of May. Now, the little difference there between what's completion and occupancy may have some time frames involved with, obviously surveyors and so forth signing off, but the hope is with council officials and the builder in discussions yesterday is that their plan for the building to be completed is at the end of May.
Well, with all respect of the next two oppositions for Darley and Melton, obviously a top of the round billing scheduled for round 8 and a potential huge earner for the club, especially given if that facility was open and up and about, you'd have a monster crowd. We'll be pouring a beer on that day.
Well, what we've done, based on the advice that we've received from our council and the builder, and in relation to the Melton game, it's not just a matter of us getting occupancy with the building and so forth. It's actually then being able to be fully comfortable with how the building is going to operate and how it's going to run. So we made the decision as of yesterday to facilitate transferring the Melton game to Melton. To give us the extra couple of weeks. We've approached Melton in regards to that because we were due to play them at home later in the season. So the concept is for those two home games to be flipped. So in actual fact, if we get the go-ahead from Melton in the league, that early June clash will be played at McPherson Park.
Well, that's big news. So a shift in store for Darley and Melton, that round 8 fixture. Well, if Darley get their way, we'll be off to McPherson Park, and of course the Devils haven't won against the Bloods for 6 years, but I guess that pales into comparison as to what really is going on at the moment.
Correct, and the thought behind that was, yeah, sure, if the building's still handed over to us, in the days prior to that game, it's not just a matter of getting the keys one day and operating the building the next. It's obviously a complex building, upstairs, downstairs, and so forth. So, and given that we wanted to try and capitalise on that particular day as the first day, we didn't think it would be doing anybody justice if we, in theory, took the building over on the Friday and then tried to operate and against a team such as Melton on the Saturday. So the thought pattern there is the league are aware of that approach to Melton. Melton have indicated to us that they'd be able to confirm either yes or no with us by tomorrow, and then the league would make a formal announcement. What that entails and allows us to do then is that the following week is now the King's birthday long weekend, so then we would have that additional 2 weeks before we would clearly be looking to play North Ballarat at home.
So how's the club coping without revenue? I know home games are a major source of income for all local footy clubs, so you'll miss another game, so
yeah,
you'll be looking at
it's certainly
10, 11.
That's right. It's certainly been a juggling act to try and make things work. We've sort of shuffled the deck a bit with some payments and bits and pieces, but what we've also made sure that we're very fortunate with our sponsorship base for the club. We certainly got on the front foot with our sponsors probably a bit earlier in the season than what we had previously, to make sure that we got some source of income and revenue in to sort of tie us over. And I suppose too, we were aware prior to the start of the season that we were basically going to be back in the season anyway at home. That was what we were up against. I mean, we'd sort of had discussions with the league about, we not playing at home in the first. So we were prepared for that. But this extra couple of weeks, we just want to.
So back ending player payments.
No. But back ending our home games, okay. not player payments. Back ending our home games, and just making sure that when we have the facility operational, we've got it operational properly.
So when it is open, hopefully Darley, North Ballarat, it will be fully operational.
That's our intention. Yep, for sure. Yep.
And what is contained in the facility? Tell us about the new complex and what it will bring.
Sure. So it's going to be a multi-use facility. As such, it's got multiple change rooms downstairs. It's got first aid rooms to it. It's got separate netball change rooms. It's got facilities for women's football. It's also got disabled toilets and public toilets built into the side of the building, which will be accessed by the public on an ongoing basis. We were fortunate enough being involved in the building process along the way that we've retained our existing home change area, which was a relatively new part of the building, was a relatively new part compared to the older building. We've retained that, and that'll become basically a warm-up centre with a gymnasium attached to it or inside it. And the upstairs, it's got a lift. It's got a lift inside. Upstairs is a 250 seat function area. It's got a small corporate area off to one side where corporate functions can be held, on a game day or at any time during the week. And then it's obviously got a separate area for timekeepers and broadcasters such as yourself. There's a bar upstairs. There's a commercial kitchen upstairs, and there's also a canteen facility in the lower level, which operates on our normal game days and so forth.
So the idea, the business model would be to trade 5 days, 5 nights a week.
Certainly, that's clearly the intention, and it's built when the funding for these types of buildings is provided. And probably to go back a step, Todd, we first as clubs, and when I mean clubs, the 2 football clubs and the cricket club, we first approached council formally about the rebuilding of this facility probably back in 2016, 2017, so it's probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. And back then it wasn't, we were told that it was still a way off. And then what the 3 clubs, what we then said, well, if we committed 250,000, would council come to the party? Council come to the party, and then we were fortunate enough that. We then, with council's advice, were able to receive funding through a state government fund called the Growing Suburbs Fund. What the Growing Suburbs Fund is for building of community facilities. So the facility, as much as it becomes the hub or the base for the 3 primary user groups, being the 2 football clubs and being the senior club, the junior club, and also the cricket club, it also becomes a community facility. And our intention going forward is that the building effectively becomes open 6 or 7 days a week for operations, for meals, etc. Running a bistro type setup now. There have been some discussions with operators to do that. We understand, like most of our clubs, a lot of it's volunteer hours and a lot of it. But we've actually had discussions with a couple of operators, if you like, in that sphere that potentially in the months going forward, they would come in and operate the venue, whether that's under potentially under a catering agreement or some other agreement. That's certainly well and truly in the pipeline.
Well, before we let you go, Mark, you might want to acknowledge a couple of significant contributors to the facility and where it's got. And given we've only got until round 9 to wait now, so it's become very real. Saturday, 17th of June, Darley's home game to North Ballarat is the date that's been circled for the fully open and operational new facility at Darley Park. Darley v Melton in round 8 in a couple of weeks' time to be moved to Mackie Park. But you might want to acknowledge a couple, Mark, before we let you go.
Yeah, just to backtrack a little bit, when we were first, when the clubs in particular first committed the first, $250,000, we had no idea where that was going to come from. We just committed that to get potentially get the project off the ground. And in the early workshops with, in particular with Mirabel Council, we formed a SAG group, which is a stakeholder advisory group. We met with council on basically a weekly basis, went through a lot of the planning, and then it was put to us that if we wanted the facility that's now being built, that we would have to come up with a further $280,000. So that meant that the tenant club's contribution was in excess of $500,000, and clearly, that those sort of funds weren't available. But the the major beneficiary to making that happen goes to the collegiate group. They've been synonymous in making the funding or a larger portion of that funding available for us. We first sat down with them. Probably the best part of 2.5 years ago now, and can't thank them for enough for their involvement financially. And I think the big tick, and it's the big tick goes for them is that I know they certainly cop some criticism and whatnot within the media, but I think we'd be very surprised with the level of support they give to multiple community facilities.
Well, Mark, finally we've got some answers, and I'm sure there's been a lot of people that aren't sort of privy to that internal information. So externally, around Darley, Bacchus Marsh and the wider competition, they've been filled in on a highly anticipated opening of that new facility, and a long time coming. While we appreciate the nostalgia of what has been, there's always room for progress, and the Devils are up and about. So round 9, Darley and home to North Ballarat will be a fully operational new facility. We look forward to that. Probably no more than Brendan McCartney, who had a little pot at the Devils last year.
No worries at all. Thanks for having us on, guys. Thank you.
Mark Shelley, the president of the Darley Football Club, joining us at the top just to add some clarity to that new facility. So the projected operation or open of it will be round 9, June 17, Darley hosting North Ballarat.
Looking for all your local footy goss? Well, you're in the right place. This is the Presser.
As Fridge takes the place of Mark in the seat. Welcome back, Fridge.
Yes, thank you, Todd. Mark's a hard act to follow, so we'll have to be on my best behaviour.
Round 5 completed at the weekend. Lake Windaree 162, broken 18-game winning streak down Melton South 60. Ballarat 39, lost to Sebastopol 87. Redan 65.
Get closer to your community with Apple 98.5 FM.
For your complete branding solutions, call Frank at Fully Promoted Melton, previously known as Embroid Me Melton, for all your uniforms, workwear, embroidery, screen printing, business cards, promotional products and more. Fully Promoted Melton will get the job done for you. So give them a call today on 9743 2550. Fully Promoted Melton has helped us stand out in the community and are a proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 5370-1478.
Welcome back to the Melton Rec Reserve for Apple 98.5 FM's match of the round. Also heard via the airwaves of 979 FM and the vision of Red Onion Media. And the vision certainly brings a lot to the Ballarat Football Netball League. Heath, given the progress of the journey, it's an important addition to where footy's at now.
Absolutely. I think all major leagues these days have live footage, so...
There's the 1-2-3, as you said, ahead of half-time as Empty combined with Baker and Bewley. Deep into attack, forward 40 entry here for the Devils. Bishop hurried the hand pass there towards Denham. Left foot kick across the body. The mark's been taken by Myers. And the umpire said it had crossed the line and through for a minor score. So first score for the Panthers, in the for the Devils in the opening 40 seconds of this third term. And it was the old
3 o'clock hit
Pritchard stoppage out of the centre bounce. So it'll be Lee with Pauline Hand, who'll go short, kicked it in the middle of 2 Panthers, but able to run onto it in the end to Theo, who went with a short kick, found White. who went along the line. Bewley read it well. Just ran in front of Pataya and took an uncontested mark in the end, lowered the eyes. Cousins made the kick look better than what it was. Left foot kick found Johnson on the lead, who ran away from Wild and took a mark on the chest. Tight angle here. Distance won't be a problem. No doubt he'll run around like most of them do these days. So Johnson a chance to become the Devils' 12th goal kicker of the afternoon.
He's missed.
And he's missed to the far side. And through for another behind. So after a very accurate opening half, the Devils have started the second half with 2 behinds. They're 18-7, 115. Melton South 117. Redan lead East Point by 23 points. North Ballarat lead Ballarat by 35. So after some indecision, the kick's been cut off there by Myers. He took a strong mark. He was made to earn it.
I just don't understand that kick out though, Todd. Like it's a 20-metre kick. It's to a contested footy, and Billy Myers has taken the mark. So Melton South very stagnant on the kick-outs. They're not moving. There's no one presenting. There needs to be a bit more movement. Blokes are standing still, and it's very easy to pick off. And Billy has missed it.
Off to the near side for a minor score. Myers has 1 goal for the afternoon. Darley have 11 goal-scoring contributors today, but 3 behinds in this third term. Kickstart the second half as Lee goes to the outer side of the ground. Cousins at the back with the fly, couldn't take the mark. At ground level there was White. Gave the ball to Fino. Went searching by hand back to White, couldn't get him. And it missed all, and it ball spewed away over the line for a boundary throw-in.
It's just happened a couple of times today where the handball's gone behind the bloke running past, and if they get the handball in front of the guy, they're away to the races, Melton South. So hopefully they can fix that little part of the game up and get some movement and some run.
Morrissey with a short sleeve on. Applied the tackle of Denham, not before he could get the hand pass out to Baker. He's high up, an under kick was marked there by Johnson, directly in front of goal, 40 metres out. Laconic kick across the body. The small from Lee was okay. Panthers have got numbers at ground level through Chapman, who got it to White by hand to Bibby to Lee. Good passage here from the Panthers, but they've let themselves down with the exit kick that Heath spoke about at the top at the start of the broadcast, which was to be a concern as Baker marks on half forward, just tumbling helicopter type kick. Myers strong in front of White. He's taken a strong overhead mark, and Myers will go back and no doubt have a chance to amend, given the accuracy degree of difficulty here is pretty much directly in front, although the umpire's asked him just to come around a little bit, but he shouldn't have many troubles here. The near 90 gamer for Williamstown, former Darley Junior, back at the club. 27-year-old shot on he's off to the right. Sent through for a minor score, so touch of the yips from Myers.
Let's watch this, Toddy. Hopefully we can get a bit more movement from the Melton South players to actually present. Good zone from Darley, but take the kick. There it is, it's presented itself. Got no idea who it is. It's the veranda.
It's marked by the veranda, believe it or not, inside play. Such is the stretch, but there's that ball kick cut off there by Page, who tumbled the ball forward. Bouncing ball, Myers in front. Small at the back there from Lee. Only went as far as Johnson at Denham, who's on his preferred. Can he straighten the Devils up? He can. Classy finish from Denham, and he gets his second goal of the afternoon. And Darley open their second half goal account. They're 19th of the afternoon, and they extend their 19-9, 123. Lead Melton South 117.
It's really hard in a game like this for players, but if you notice then, Denham was the one that pushed from one contest to the next contest. The South players trailed him in, didn't put enough close pressure on him, and next thing you know, he's there having a shot on goal. So again, learnings, but hopefully the South boys can actually, learn something from the work rate and the positioning of the Darley players.
So it's Impey in the ruck, tapped it straight to Baker. There was the old Pritchard stoppage there at its finest, but they didn't execute well on that occasion. Baker's hair pass was errant, fell into the hands of Miller, who just knocked it forward, but Baker kept pressing and got it back. Fell into the hands of Cousins. Left foot kicks okay, and found Sullivan. He can chip it over the top to Impey. The big fella, how will it sit for him? He's got to bend down 6'10" and all. Hand pass along the line of the boundary. That was a terrific gather there from Cabin. He went back inboard, put his man under the pump. He's tackled, taken to the ground and pinged by the umpire. It'll be a free kick to White against Andy as a party. I do like the way young White just picks his opponents up off the ground, get them back to their feet. Why not? Right foot kick to the attacking 40. Been cut off there by Brodie Ward. So his left foot kick short, needed to be good, and it was. Tilahure, who got it to Brett. Searching left-hand hand pass was good as a kick. Might have been Ankrum, he got a touch of the fumbles, it was. And he had to turn Absalom inside out, which harder than it looked. Brett squaring kick, overcooked it, meant for Matricati. Bishop ran onto it, back to Matricati. Good pressure there from Lee. Forced the turnover. So Chapman with ball in hand, got it to Theo, to Wild into the middle. Good passage, overcooked the kick, meant for Fino to Chapman. Back to Fino. Stationary hand pass to Patea, who just turned around and kicked it to an open forward line out on a bounce. Cutting the pursuing. Young gets back, gets a favourable bounce, and he runs away with a right foot kick and gets the Devils out of trouble. Only momentarily though, because he overcooked the kick and it went out of bounds on the full.
Fair enough having a shot from there. The forward line was open, get it out the back. Caddy was running onto it. It was just a stiff bounce for the South boys.
So Bridges lowers the eyes, kick beautifully read by Cousins off the boot. Kick meant for Riley. But he's a good intercept mark, Cousins. He reads the play well and he goes short and finds Bishop on half back. Pushed right up the ground. Waits the kick to space, and White's attack on the footy was rewarded with a favourable bounce, and he got plenty on the kick. And then it went off to the right, one bounce over the line for a boundary throwing, or it might have gone on the full actually. And he overcooked that shot on goal. So it'll be Brett who switches play to Brodie Ward. He'll want to run around onto the left boot, went by hand to the end of Bailey Young. Hand pass further afield to Matricati. Corralling was good from Absalom. He's forced to make 2-3 efforts as they negotiate by hand. The Devils towards Ankrum. Bounced off the tackle, kept it inside play. Bewley with a one-on-one here. Fino at the back, squared the contest. He'll be happy with that. And the ball found its way over the line for a boundary throwing right in front of us here, broadcast side.
Again, the tackle, Todd. It's the tackle that needs to be laid from the South guys. They have to make that tackle. Again, the strength of the Darley players with the footy, breaking tackles.
Boundary throw in front. Johnson wanted the push. There's Morrissey at the back. He was tackled, bailed up by Cadman. Speak of Joel, no Duncan today. So, a 116-point lead to the Devils. Johnson won that tap, knocked it under the veranda. Leonard's attack on the footy was good, but he was met solidly by the Panthers' defence. Wild then gathered the footy, taken to the ground there by Bishop. Leonard stood up in the tackle of Chapman. Riley might have cut one high. Bit of a scrub of sorts as Leonard tries to usher the ball forward, but the umpire says it was held to him, and there'll be a ball up some 25 metres out from the Darley goal. Melton lead Bacchus-Marsh by 37. North Ballarat lead Ballarat by 40. So that clearance kick only went as far as Cousins, who's starting to have an influence. One of many in the black and white today. The kick found as a party, who wanted the lead to present, but then ignored the ball and then went with a high up and under kick. Joel Cadman underneath it. It's got Fino to beat. Neither got a hand on the footy. The tap from Page was meant for Johnson, but weight of numbers through the Panthers' defence, and Kavarik was the beneficiary. Got it to Riley. Gather was good, and then he was tackled, taken to the ground, and the umpire said too high against Page. There'll be a free kick to Riley on the defensive 40s. He goes back inside towards Theo, who went back into the defensive goal square. So the youngster Green with ball in hand. Right foot kicks okay to White.
This is where it breaks down.
Over the top to Simpson. Right on cue. It's as if you've already seen the replay of this game, Heath. Opportunity here for Sullivan, but the outside of the boot's been cut off there by Theo.
Well, he needs to look out this way to the kid. News, he's out here. Use him.
So he goes short to Lee. So that kick could have been the further option, and Lee could have run onto the handball of Mears, but Anyway, he went the short option, so they go to Brett. He's got his name written all over this. It's been impenetrable today. Pushes up and goes short to Young. So Darley just kicked the one goal in 11 minutes into this third term. Squarey kick from Young to Cousins. Possibly the major possession winner on the ground in this third term. Long kick goes into the Leonard direction. Fino was infringed. The umpire let it go. Green at Crown Level. Got it to Simpson. Through White. Evasive skills. He's got some toe. Quick hands to Patea. White kept running. Kept it inside the boundary line. How's this kick? Looks all right. They're a chance here. The Panthers, they're out with speed. Long right foot kick into the caddy direction. And he's got it. Plays on. Shot goal. And he's put it through.
Well done, well done. What's been pleasing this quarter is defensively, they've pushed right up the ground. They've made it harder for Darley to score. When they first won the footy, then in the back half of the ground, every single player was in the Darley half of the ground. So, bit of a change from the coach's box. They're going to try and flood defensively, which is good, and then get them out the back, which they were able to do at that time.
So a terrific goal there from Caddy. Largely on the back of
Cassius White.
The running, repeat running of White, who found Rogers, who went forward.
And it was a good kick by Rogers. Credit where it's due. He went long, he got it out the back, he gave Caddy every chance, which was good.
Yeah, passage of the day for the Panthers. We're back in the middle here. Impey tapped it just to his feet and found Denham. It was bailed up. There would be a ball up in the middle.
Good by Cody Chapman then to make sure they didn't get away.
So it's Myers in the ruck. Hustling. Baker, quick hands to Page. Right foot kick, excuse me, to half forward. Has a party to target, couldn't gather cleanly. Bridges, high up and under kick to half forward for the Panthers. Not a bad passage for the blue and white at the moment. Baker just threw the ball out to Page, who got it to Lahoure. Ball at Crown Level. Just needs to be clean here. Baker got it to Cousins. Quick hand pass to Baker. Hand pass went straight into Riley. Absalom was bailed up. Good pressure here from the Devils. Game on, scrap. Quick hands. Searching one at that. Fell into the hands of Absalom. He went to ground. Could have been pushed in the end. And the umpire agreed. And a bit of arm wrestle of sorts the last 3.5 minutes, and the Panthers holding weight.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see that they're actually, they're not putting the white flag up here, and that's all you can ask from the side that's up against it.
So Absalom goes forward, and Matthew Brett comes across and takes a pretty comfortable mark in the end, and he's normally pinpoint by foot. This one no exception, and found Sullivan. He can chip it over the top towards Azapati, who likes to have a run, takes a bounce, and got an awkward one at that. It just didn't set up for him. Matricati was clever with the blind, and it set up for him in the end. Gather to open space. Azapati kept running, took his eyes off the ball, looked at Morrissey before he got it, and the big fella Morrissey ended up with ball in hand before he's tackled, bailed up, and there'll be a square away stoppage on half forward for Darley. The Panthers got away with one there, Heath.
Yeah, absolutely. Two guys got drawn to the player and got past, which created a loose. Jack Morrissey did well then.
Tap one by Myers to no real advantage. Forced to do his own ruck work. Took the tackler on in Kavarik before the ball spilled out, went over the line for a boundary throw-in. So Darley kicked 1 goal 4 in near 15 minutes in this third term. Panthers 1 goal of their own, so...
And you've got to see that as a win for Melton South. That's a much better 15 minutes of footy than what they've produced all day in relation to the scoreboard. So that's a win.
Yeah, Baker caught one high. White got an errant arm to the face, and good to see White just making sure Baker's okay.
I don't reckon Luther would do the same to him somehow, Tom.
No, but I did see it, and there was a little bit of an errant arm, certainly not intentional in any stretch.
And I'm not saying Luther should pick him up either, by the way.
Myers was pushed by Morrissey, but was up for the tarts and grabbed it out of the ruck and gave it over towards Riley. There's White getting Baker back up onto his feet. If you don't mind, we'll keep an eye on the Devils' vice-captain. He might be feeling a little bit ginger. As Fino goes along the line, the kick's okay to Patea. Could go back to Fino, but wheels onto that right boot. Style looking there towards Caddy, knocked off the footy there well by Brett, went to ground in the end there, Caddy. Seemingly the Devils had numbers, but they might concede a free kick here to Chapman, but the umpire let it go. Fell back into the hands of Caddy, he was tackled. So a good arm wrestle here, the last 6 or 7 minutes. Just a goal apiece in this third term.
That one on Chapman then either had to be holding the ball or holding the man. Had to be one or the other. But it was, you're right, Todd. They've created a contest, which is all you can ask.
It's out one by Myers. Got it to Denham. Hurried left foot kick to centre wing. Who will it favour? He's wide again. Took on the tackle of Azapati. Stood up in the tackle and broke it in the end. And got it to Lee. Over towards Theo. Ran across the middle of the ground. Ran his full measure right foot kick. And there's Matthew Brett again.
No lead. He had no one to kick to then. No one moved. There was no movement. I thought a lead would have come out towards the scoreboard there at Melton South End then.
So Matty Brett just makes that exit kick look so easy as he got it to Brodie Ward. Further afield to Matt Riccardi, to Azapati on centre wing. Hand pass over towards Baker. Lower the eyes in the Leonard direction out in front of him. The veteran kept it in. Gave the hand pass over to Page, who went short to Johnson. But it's going to come back. So boundary umpire catches up with the play. Citing the ball to have gone over the line.
Lucky it did. There was 4-on-1 there in the going forward there, Toddy.
Well, the Panthers have got every right to be gassed after the last 15 minutes of hustle. They're clearly man on man at the moment. As Baker breaks away from the congestion, open goal. Off to the left. The minor score. So I reckon he's missed his last, well, he has kicked a goal today, but 4 of his last 5 sort of breakaway, run into goal opportunities. He's missed off to the left in general play, but it's Fino now. He goes short to Miller. Clean bowled him. Sullivan caught one over the shoulder there from Fino. Every day of the week. And Fino made him earn that. Sullivan gave him a smile, got nothing back as he goes inside 40. Good mark. Nice mark right at the back there by Chapman, who wastes no time playing on. Went to the outer side there, looking there towards Morrissey, who shrugged the tackle of Page, conceded by hand to Theo. Short kick was poor and cut off by Cousins. And Cousins will go back from about 45 metres out. 18 minutes gone in this third term.
Again, Cody Chapman's kick to Morrissey, 25-metre kick, misses the target. Theo's kick there, chip kick, hits a Darley player straight on the chest. Just got to be tidier with the footy when we're out. We've got to use that loose man and make sure we hit the target.
So it'll be Cousins. Does it mind a goal? A bit like his father. Shot on goal is might have snuck in, did it? Through for a minor score. So off to the left. Darley's 6th behind of the term. They kicked 1 goal 6 this quarter. But what's to say for Dan Jordan at 3/4 time? I mean, if this just plays out as it is there much to gain by... What has Darley observed that's been any different from the opening half? I mean, the Panthers' pressure's been good. What has Darley done wrong?
Well, I don't think Darley's done anything as wrong, but what Melton South have done is made it harder for Darley to transition the footy because they've got so many numbers behind. Like we kick a ball in here now by a Darley player. There are players everywhere for Melton South, which is a better way for them to play.
So Brodie Ward and Page and Cousins combined, and that entry kick has been cut off. And the Panthers will get out of trouble, and White will be on the receiving end. On the last line of defence here, he's got some good toe, this kid. Right foot kick goes in the Matty Brett direction. He couldn't take the mark. Ankram hand pass was meant for Sullivan. Well, it was meant for Lawler, in fact. Very similar from a distance. Lawler and Sullivan with the white boots and similar height. Lawler just the darker haired version. Ball up, grabbed out of the ruck by Myers, meant for Baker. Second effort good here. Quick hands, went to the voice of Denham. Took on the tackler, could have been held without it in the end. Chance here for Green. Took on Bishop, got dispossessed. And a tackle there from Myers on young Evans. Was solid and fair, and there's a ball up on half forward. Impey back into the ruck. Darley seemed to be at their best when he is so, as Sullivan's hurried kick, nearly a falcon in the end, didn't gain any territory at all before it rebounded back into a swarm of players. Bees to Arnie Pop. There'll be a ball up on half forward for Darley. And it's a bit of an anti-climax but in this third term, but the fight of the Panthers been terrific. Not sure there was much pride there for Chapman. The free kick will go to Lahure, and a chance to send the Devils into attack. So they want to keep their space here as Van Leaf leads into that space. The umpire provided the nice block on Evans. Inadvertently, I must say. As Van Leaf, it's like he sent it back for no apparent reason. Caddy had the ball knocked away from him in the end to the kick that was meant for Matt Riccardi. Through traffic goes Chapman, and he's bailed up, and there'll be a ball up on true centre half forward. Not sure on that Van Leaf, the gain of that kick.
Just too much height on it. He sort of gave the Melton South bloke a chance. It probably wasn't a bad option if he had kicked it flatter, to be honest.
Impey won the tap. Copping one high there was the youngster there in Mears.
It's good to see some of these kids, they're putting their head over the footy, you know, Todd, and you can't ask for anything more than that. All you can ask for is effort and putting their head over the footy when it's their turn.
Indecision from the youngster.
That's
Kick smothered in the end. Couple of Devils players waiting on the end. Lawler was one of those, so too Page. He got it to Young, to Adam as a party. Good tackle there from Mears over the shoulder, said the umpire.
Tried to make up for his mistake. Maybe just went in a bit aggressively, but at least he tried. That's all you can ask, what they said.
So it's Adam as a party, wanting someone to present. Leonard provides that, and the lead is good, and the mark is better. The outstretched hands of Leonard has taken the mark.
I think Cassius White might like his time again on that one where he just went back just a fraction harder and tried to get a fist in to Daz's lead.
So it'll be Darren Leonard, who has 3 goals this afternoon.
I think he's every chance. He's got to realise that's only 40 metres or 45 metres.
Well, he plays on by hand to Ankrum, who sets it to the top of the square, and Myers has got it. Taking a strong mark overhead.
He'll kick this one,
and
surely. Yeah, he'll kick
Myers
this one.
will snuck it in, he said. And he kicks Darley's 20th. And Billy Myers gets his second of the afternoon. Darley, 20 goals, 11. 131 lead Melton South, 2-1-13. So the Devils have kicked 2-6 to Melton South's 1 goal in this third term. We'll go around the grounds. Redan lead East Point by 22. Melton South lead Bacchus Marsh by 37. North Ballarat lead Ballarat by 46. And Sebastopol lead Lake Windaree by 31.
It's interesting that Lake Windaree are only 31 points down against Sebastopol. I actually really rate Sebas and watched Lake Windaree last week, and they were pretty good last week, obviously against the Panthers.
Sebastopol needing a like-for-like challenge, I think, Heath. I mean, since the Melton game, there hasn't been a real challenge for them as Bibby sharks that stoppage. Patea presents, tackle, taken to the ground. Light frame of Patea. There'll be a repeat stop.
Just that situation there with Patea, like, don't let the ball out. Try and cause it. You make the umpire, you know, if you pinch of holding the ball, so be it, but just don't let the ball out.
Tap one by Impey, meant for Matt Riccardi. Free kick, this will go to Bibby, the youngster. So Bibby with ball in hand. Going to be a good player for the club, Bibby, if not already. Right foot kick inside 40. Chance here for Caddy, tries to break the tackle of Young, couldn't, but got the hand pass out to Riley, who's met by a swarm of Devils. That's good defensive pressure. Young dropped it in the end. Absalom gave it back to him. And then the Footscray VFL listed Young to find the ball beyond centre wing. They're out here, the Devils. Baker's hand pass found Johnson, who went inboard as a party. Loves a goal. On this occasion, though, he lowered the eyes. And the mark's been taken there under the veranda by Bishop.
I tell you the thing that Dan Jordan will love when he watches the footage then. Billy Myers busted his guts to lay a shepherd then. You know, doesn't get seen by a lot of people, but he just pushed and pushed and pushed to lay a shepherd when there's 120 points already in the game. So just little things like that, you'd be, as a coach, you're just going, how nice is that to see?
So it'll be Dylan Bishop for a shot on goal. For goal number 3, he makes no mistake, this Bishop, doing his job forward as a small pressure forward, answering the request of Dan Jordan. And Bishop now has 3 goals.
It's a good return.
Yeah, he's a role player fulfilling that. Melton 42 lead Bacchus Marsh 5. East Point 39, trail Redan 61. North Ballarat 70 lead Ballarat 23. Back in the middle here. It'll be Impey who won that tap. He went Straight towards the Darley goal. The tap found Denham, who threw the ball on the boot towards half forward. Ball at ground level. Bishop kept running. Gathered might have caught one high. The umpire let it go. Took on the would-be tackler. Threw ball to boot. Through traffic. Couldn't get it through. Kavarik on the ground. Baker keeping his feet. Tunnel ball. Then fired it out. Hand pass was terrific. Got it over there towards, it might have been Sullivan. And the kick towards half forward. The umpire's feet out. The free kick here. There's the advantage. And Leonard will kick another one.
I think it was a mark, Todd. I think Billy Myers might have marked it, mate. It was a bit hard to see because of the veranda. I had a bit more of a view than you. I think he got his hands to it.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, well, otherwise it clearly was the advantage. Well, you can't advantage from a mark, so there's a chance here for Myers to kick back-to-back goals for the Devils. And they're 22nd of the afternoon, and they're 4th for the term. Need 27 minutes gone here. 3-6 for the term. Myers, this one, no mistake. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. Myers has 3 goals now. And Darley get their 4th for the term. They're 22 goals, 11, 143. Lead Melton South 2-1-13. 27 minutes gone, third term. Just the inability to sustain that pressure, Heath.
Oh, look, it's always going to be hard, like, and you know, I don't think anyone at the Melton South Footy Club's under any illusions of where they're at the moment. It's just more about the fact that you've just got to see some competitive effort, and they've got that this quarter. Like, just hold on for the next 3 or 4 minutes. Don't let the floodgates open too much. As Darley go forward again.
Yep, Cadman got it towards Sullivan. Quick hands to Andy as a party. He went forward. White the fly. Kept it in front of him, but Bishop did the roving. From one rover to another. Denham back to Bishop on the non-preferred. Baker needs a favourable bounce. The gather was terrific. The turn, the pivot to Page, who steadied and went back to Impey, the tallest man on the ground. He's taken an overhead mark and will go back and have a shot on goal 25 metres out directly in front. So Impey for a chance to kick his first of the afternoon and become Darley's 12th goal kicker of the afternoon. That's a good kick from a big man. Bit of a natural athlete is Impey, quite a handy basketball, a high representative. I think he lives up this way, Heath.
Yeah, he does. He's a Melton boy, lives in Melton, so he's a good pick-up for the Devils. Looking forward to going ahead next week. Obviously, Lake Wendouree, who have been fairly competitive today in their game against Sebastopol, will be a challenge for Darley. It'll be a different kettle of fish, and Ballarat are an interesting one this year, Todd, with their win-loss record. You would have expected after last year that they and the appointment of a quality coach in Chris Maple, that they might have been going a bit better than what they are.
Yeah, well, the exit of 10 or so didn't help. Yeah. I'll write them down in the break for you, and you'll see the difference in the side as the siren sounds to end this third quarter here at Melton Rec Reserve. Darley getting that last shot on goal for the term, and 3 goals in time on that didn't help the Panthers. 23-11 now, Darley 149. Lead Melton South 2-1-13. A quick look around the grounds before our final break. Melton 6-6-42. Lead Bacchus Marsh 5 behinds. Sebastopol 6-8-44. Lead Lake Wendouree 1 goal 7. Redan 9-7-61. Lead East Point 5-9-39. And Ballarat North Ballarat 11-4-70. Lead Ballarat 4-5-29. Well, it's all one-way traffic here at Melton Rec Reserve. It's the Devils who lead by 136 points at the last change here at Melton Rec Reserve after they kicked 4 goals 6, well 5 in the end, 5-6 to 1 goal to gain further separation on the scoreboard here. A break and back with the final quarter action in a few minutes' time.
That quarter was proudly sponsored by Anytime Fitness, 72 Bennett Street, Bacchus Marsh. Mention VFL Game Day on Apple 98.5 FM to receive 50% off your joining fee, plus a free towel and water bottle.
This broadcast of VFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 5370 1478.
Mark Shelley, along with his team at Stockdale and Lego Bacchus Marsh, run a successful and results-driven agency who are experienced, customer-focused and knowledgeable, dedicated agents delivering outstanding results for their clients. For expert advice, please call station sponsor on 5367 5700 today. Stockdale and Lego, we are here for you. Proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
I want you to inspire me, and I want to inspire you this football season with our high-quality, locally grown meat. Hop online or give us a call on 5368 1117 or come in store and we will deliver to you free of charge this football season. Proud sponsors of this station, the Land Local Butcher.
Rustel Proprietary Limited phone 0419 568 635. Stop for quality and service for your side cut. Phone the top man Graham Gillespie at Rustel for prompt and expert service. Proud sponsor Apple 98.5 FM.
Apple 98.5 FM, your community on the radio.
Rustel Proprietary Limited phone 0419 568 635. For all your site and construction needs, be they large or small, phone the top man Graham Gillespie at Rustel to get your job done quickly and efficiently. Rustel Proprietary Limited, proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
I want you to inspire me, and I want to inspire you this football season with our high-quality, locally grown meat. Hop online or give us a call on 5368 1117 or come in store and we will deliver to you free of charge this football season. Proud sponsors of this station, the Land Local Butcher.
Mark Shelley, along with his team at Stockdale and Lego Bacchus Marsh, run a successful and results-driven agency who are experienced, customer-focused and knowledgeable, dedicated agents delivering outstanding results for their clients. For expert advice, please call station sponsor on 5367 5700 today. Stockdale and Lego, we are here for you. Proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
Your community on the radio. Apple 98.5 FM.
Rustel Proprietary Limited phone 0419 568 635. Stop for quality and service for your side cut. Phone the top man Graham Gillespie at Rustel for prompt and expert service. Proud sponsor Apple 98.5 FM.
Stockdale and Lego means real estate because your success is our business. Take a look at our station sponsor website www.stockdaleandlego.com/Bacchus and like our Facebook page to keep up to date with new listings, open for inspections and rental availabilities. Stockdale and Lego, we are here for you. Proud sponsor of Apple 98.5 FM.
I want you to inspire me, and I want to inspire you this football season with our high-quality, locally grown meat. Hop online or give us a call on 5368 1117 or come in store and we will deliver to you free of charge this football season. Proud sponsors of this station, the Land Local Butcher.
Apple 98.
Welcome back to Melton Rec Reserve. It's three-quarter time here in Apple 98.5 FM's match of the round. And the audio also via 979 Melton FM and the vision provided by the BFNL broadcast partners Red Onion, bringing you all the vision today from Melton. Heath, you had an interesting conversation off air there with your father, who was finding it a tough watch, but you did inform him upon the text that was actually the best quarter of the Panthers.
Yeah, it's Dad's away on holiday. He watched last week's game, watched Lockie play last week, and then he's off on holiday today, goes up north and still watches the Panthers as much as he can and watched the third quarter on the stream and said it's been a tough watch watching the third quarter, and I said, well, that was actually probably the best quarter, Dad. So, but it's good to know that there's people that care, that are watching the game when they're on their way up on holiday going up to Queensland. So there you go.
So they might have parked the Ferrari, Darley, whether Bewley was going to go. Yeah, he looks like he's done for the day, Bewley. Not going to risk him with any more minutes. So the beneficiaries of that will be, of course, the Navy blue and white. But the result foregone here. Is that something you do, Heath?
Look, like I said to you at the start of the day, I was surprised that they all played. I would have thought a few would have played this week, a few play next week, and work out which ones miss which game. But as I said, Dan Jordan and Matt Cape are experienced blokes, and certainly the fact that you can afford to put them on ice, well, put them on ice and say, rightio, bring in the Lakers next week.
So it'll be Johnson in the ruck with Denham, Van Leith and Baker. So there'll be a lot around the communication of Baker with the more recent additions, if you like, of Van Leith and Johnson into that role. Denham very experienced, but around some new faces this year at his new club. So let's see how the cohesion out of centre bounce and around stoppage in the absence of Bewley.
Young Tanner, I thought young Tanner did a really good job for Darley last year in the ruck, and probably a little surprised that he hasn't got a run, but the form of Impey has been so good that he's kept him out of the side. So going with a very small second ruckman, the Devils.
So Darley kick to the Melbourne end in this final term. Ball up, tap won by Johnson. Ball went to outer centre wing. The gather was terrific there from Sullivan, and he was ushered into the ground after some momentum forward. Ball spilled out into a swarm of players, and there'll be a ball up. So what to gain for the Panthers in this final term, Heath?
Oh, look, just similar to the last quarter. Try not to fade out of it. Try not to get outscored by too much. If you can actually win a quarter, that'd be great.
Baker broke away from the stoppage and went looking for Myers. Had the ball punched away from him. Fell into the hands of Denham with a high up and under kick. The left footer just off to the left. Down to the goal line there was Leonard in a bit of a wrestle, but it beat them all through for a minor score. So Darley on the board early in this final term, 50 seconds in. And behind to Matty Denham, who is one of 12 goal kickers today. So the ball comes out to half back, Page all over it. Muse did well to get a hand on it to affect the spoil. Second ender was even better, but missed the target for Kavarik. Baker, tunnel ball, knocked it forward, kept it in front of himself. Probably should have gave the handball back to him there, did the Darley play, but it's fallen into the hands of Brodie Ward, who gave it to Ankrum. Right foot kick inside 40, 50-50 ball, White the flyer. He couldn't gather. But in the end, Simpson can, who went back to Bridges, who's going to concede some ground here with the switch. The kick needs to be good, and it is. And they put the faith in Muse to complete the chain. Albeit another link as he goes short to Kavarik on the defensive 40. Can come along the line. Miller the target. Johnson read it better.
Just got to go there, the young fella from South. He's got to go then.
So it'll be Johnson with ball in hand. Goes out in the direction of Myers. He looks dangerous from here. Got plenty of purchase on it, but Page had more of it in front. But the umpire let it go to Chapman, who fired it out boundary side to Lee. Searching hand pass meant for Kavarik. Wasn't sure whether it was meant for him or not. So it bounced in the end and rolled over the line for a throw in.
Just send a cheerio to my old mate Brad Barnes, who texted me. Said him and Dave are sitting there listening to the footy. So to the Barneses, g'day to you boys.
The Group 1 Barnes duo coming to a trotting venue near you. There's the boundary throw in. At the back there was Baker. Ran past the footy. Gathered high up and under kick there from Morris. He only went as far as Cousins, who took a leap of faith. Took a nice mark over Brodie Ward in the end. Just eyes for the footy. Now he lowers the eyes. Goes in the Leonard direction. Presents and takes a nice overhead mark.
Quality player.
And Leonard will go back and have a shot on goal from about 40.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that will fill the Darley people's hearts with a bit of joy. You know, you look at Mace Cousins, son of an ex-player, Luther Baker, son of an ex-player. It's good to see that those guys are playing for the club and playing such vital roles. Good players, both of them very good players.
Yeah, that's a good call. Generational players. As Leonard for a shot on goal off to the right. So the Devils begin in their errant ways as they did in the opening term and third term before a correction. And a sea of goals followed. They'll be hoping that can eventuate in this final term. That'll be the Panthers to bring the ball back into play through Lee. Gets plenty of purchase on the kick to half-back. It was Patea, the fly, couldn't get it. Ward wanted a free kick. Wasn't forthcoming. Through traffic he goes. Took on the tackler there in white. Umpire let it go. Chance here for the Panthers. They're out to Patea, who ran forward in the contest and then got a touch of the fumbles. His second effort was okay as Sullivan's over the footy. And whistle a minute, there'll be a ball up.
And of course, young Brody, who's the son of Rod Ward. So that's another connection from generations past.
Indeed. And a couple of listening on the radio today. The Barnes duo, synonymous with the Darley family. As Van Leith, by hand, from a standing start, got it to Denham. His left foot kick went towards Azapati, who took a mark 40 metres out from goal. So he wastes no time, 42 metres out, high up and under kick. Myers has to wait under it, second grab, couldn't take it. Chance here for Leonard. Here passed the ball off to Matricati, who ran into an open goal and put it through. So that breaks the ice, albeit inside 5 minutes of a drought for the Devils. They kick their goal number 24, they're 24-13. 157, they lead Melton South 2-1-13. So Matricati, speak of Riley, gets his first. He becomes Darley's 13th goal scorer of the afternoon. Look out, it's East Point 58, Trail Redan 85. 27-point lead to Redan. Let's see how this boundary, this ball up goes. Johnson went to Baker, nudged his man forward to that stoppage. Then it's set up for him, but he was unable to gather cleanly and the ball went to ground and there'll be a ball up. So I'll repeat. A restart of sorts. Tap won by Johnson. Ball at ground level. Denham might have been pushed. The umpire let it go. Fell in the hands of Baker on the non-preferred. Hassled the ball forward. Bouncing Paul on the right boot. Ran in towards Azapati. Swooped on the footy and kicked a goal.
Just look at the spacing then. If you look at that stoppage then, or that pack was basically in the middle of the ground. If you have a look at the Melton South forward line, the spacing between their forwards was roughly 5 metres. Becomes really easy to defend. You look at the Darley forward line, 10, 15, 20 metres apart, more space, rolled players up higher, meant that the forward line probably only had 4 blokes in it, possibly 5. Just giving their forwards much more space to operate in, and they're running into open goal and open space.
Luther Baker's gone forward. And Adam Azapati into the middle of the ground with Johnson and Denham and Van Leith and Bibby, the Panther, the youth. Gave the hand pass over to a tackle there from Johnson, was solid. Over the shoulder, said the umpire. Be a free kick here to Fino.
Dan Jordan will love that as a coach. Like, you know, 130, 150 points up.
Right foot kick. Umpire's going to pay the mark. Well, he just pushed Cousins out of the way. Cousins a little bit disappointed that he wasn't afforded a free kick. Arguably one of Darley's best players of the afternoon, but a nice bit of forward craft from Riley, a new addition to the Panthers in 2023. And a shot on goal here. Chance to kick the Panthers third, and he's just off to the right. So he's been a trier all day for Melton South. That would have added a little bit more credibility to his contribution for the afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Matty Brett to bring the ball back into play. He's been super efficient by foot. Right foot kick is terrific. And found Sullivan, the former Melton South utility. Went by the right boot towards half forward. Baker kept his feet. Then was tackled and bailed up. He did everything right there. He's going to get pinged here for holding the ball. And it'll be Fino with ball in hand. So Fino, who's tried hard all day, plenty of footy behind the ball. Right foot kick to outer side centre wing is okay.
Bibby.
And it's Bibby with ball in hand. He looks to come inboard to Chapman.
I like that kick. Change the angles a little bit. Make the Darley defenders move. Stagnant. Come on, boys. South boys need to move.
So Chapman concedes towards White on half back. Took on Cadman, was forced to go by hand in the end. Theo fumbled it, but had time to regather and send it to half forward. Chance here for Sullivan. Attack on the footy was terrific, so too from Bibby and Patea to square away the stoppage, and there'll be a ball up on half forward for the Panthers, who are giving up the ghost here. 8.5 minutes gone, final term. The Devils with an insurmountable lead of heavy proportion. They lead by 149 points. There's the ball up. Ground level ball, not taken cleanly by either side. Chapman had it knocked away from him. Second effort, as usual's okay, but it's spilled out the back to Page. They're unable to keep it in there, the Panthers. It's what Heath Pritchard was chatting about just after half time. Miles has bailed up. And there'll be a ball up.
It's a natural reaction for a side that's struggling to try and get more guys going at the ball, but they've just got to be more disciplined at keeping their space. Darley just keep having options to give the ball to every time they win it.
White looked dangerous, gave the hand pass to Fino, fired it back to White, who went back in the Fino direction, spilled out to Chapman, who gave it the old 1-2, can chip the ball over the top. Rogers needs to be good here. It was too much on the kick. It was a slow, high-weighted kick. Allowed the Devils to come in and effect a ball over the line for a boundary throw-in. Tick over 9.5 minutes gone in this final term here. Darley have added 2 goals, 2 for the term. Grabbed out of the ruck there by Johnson. The throw-in was favourable. He threw it on the boot to an open forward line, and Miles has got it. And Myers with ball in hand will go back and have a shot on goal here from 40 metres out. Chance to kick his 4th of the afternoon. It'll make it a game-high 4.
Could have easily had 6 or 7.
Yep.
As well.
Andy Azzopardi, Darren Leonard, Trey Van Leith, the others, and Dylan Bishop all with 3 goals. Myers has a chance for number 4 here.
It's a lovely kick.
Yeah, that's a ripper. Have a shot from out at that distance more often, Billy Myers, as he makes no mistake with that one. He kicks goal number 4. And Darley get their 26th of the afternoon. And they extend here at Melton Rec Reserve. So how about the draw for Melton South, Heath, in the opening 4 or 5 weeks of this competition? Melton away, East Point away, Sunbury at home, etc. And then what else did they have? It didn't get any easier. Sebastopol away, and now they're saying hello to...
East Point. Oh, look, the draw astounds me at times, to be honest, Todd. I just don't understand why the bottom sides don't all play each other twice. The fact that Melton South and Lake Wendouree, who came bottom and second last year, have only played each other once again this season, same as last season. I just think there's got to be a better way to snuff out. It was always going to be a tough year for Melton South, but to snuff out any opportunity so early in relation to the draw and to cop those sorts of losses straight away.
How about that? Darley won the centre clearance. They went kick to kick, chip, went the Panthers. And then White's exit kick went along the ground only as far as Cadman, who had a pot shot at the goals. And it went across the face and through for a minus score. So
you hear the Geelong League that are very, very big on the fact that the bottom sides play each other twice and the top sides play each other twice, and they get some movement in relation to teams making finals and not making finals. And look, there's always, somebody didn't make finals last year. They've obviously improved, and that's good, and that happens occasionally. But as a general rule, the sides that finish low the year before are going to finish low again the following year. So they do need a bit of a leg up in relation to the draw.
Cummins with the fly!
Great mark.
Nearly took mark of the year.
That's a ripper.
So arguably Darley's best today. Cousins fires the ball back into the forward line. Chance here for Bishop over the foot. He couldn't gather. Desperation from the Panthers defence. They'll try and keep it in. And they'll succeed in doing so, and there'll be a ball up.
That's a fantastic mark.
25, 30 metres out from the Darley goal.
It's been a hard watch, but that's a good mark, that.
Ball up. Leonard won the tap, only as far as Miller. Just turned and pivoted. Simpson was tackled by Matricati. Ball dispossessed. As a dozen or so players around the footy. Matricati fired the hand pass out. Opportunity here for Myers with strength. Couldn't get ball to boot. An opportunity here for Theo in the last line. Quick hand pass over to Miller. High up and under kick beyond the defensive 40. And the mark's been taken there by Page. Page too far out to score. can conceive of the 45 kick to Johnson. He's got Matty Brett in the middle of the ground. That's good vision, good communication. Changing the angles as Heath Pritchard spoke about earlier. And now Lawler runs to outer side centre wing. Right foot kick to the top of the goal square. Who's at the back? Off hands. Through for a rush behind. It just ball just outran Myers. And through for a minor score. So Darley kicked their 15th point of the afternoon. And 10th for the second half. They've kicked 8 goals, 10 in the second half. As they trade with short kicks out of defence, the Panthers, and it ends up in the hands of Miller. And he'll go short, backwards, and it's okay. In the end, mark taken there by Riley, as Billy Myers was steaming in, but couldn't impact before Riley. There's a tumbling exit kick, another poor one at that. Cousins hasn't stopped running. Miller by hand went inboard to Caddy. Could have given it back to the big fella, but elected to go by foot. Matty Brett, he's been a backstop of sorts today for the Devils. Got it to Baker, got it to Page, to Ward. Short left foot kick was well done. They're away here. Ankrum lowers the eyes, and Billy Myers comes out and takes a nice overhead mark. 40 metres out from goal. He's a quality act, Myers.
Good player, and adds another dimension. Like, I know Nick Rodder's disappeared this year from the Devils, but I just think they've got more avenues to goal than previous years, Todd. Like, Myers up forward, Leonard goes forward. The young fella you mentioned before, Will Johnson.
He's hit the post, Heath.
Young Dylan Bishop plays a role up forward.
He's actually hit the post of the net behind the goals. They just happen to be in sync in our vision here.
They do, Toddy. I'll stick up for you there.
Thank you. There's like a mirror image of the goalposts behind that make up the structural arrangement of that net, and it's bounced off the post and hit it flush, actually, to give us every indication from 200 metres away that it had hit the post. But it indeed did hit a post. It just wasn't the goalpost. It was that at the net. And a goal to Myers. And goal number 5. Terrific kick. Ball up, tap one by Johnson. Went looking for Bewley and Baker. Neither were there because Baker's forward and Bewley's off the ground. And the forward 50 entry kick meant for Rogers was cut off by Brodie Ward, who hasn't made any errors this afternoon. He's done everything right. To Young. Played on by hand pass towards Matthew Brett through the middle, been terrific by foot today. Hand pass from Bishop was cut off. White's been busy, ran away from the contest though too quickly. Natricati got it to Lawler, right foot kick to Lennon, crashing. Chance here for Myers, quick hand pass over towards Van Leith, unselfish, and they combine for a goal. Van Leith gets goal number 4. Well, there you go.
Good goal. Just making sure that Reece Lee's all right there. Like, you're 160 points down and you back him back into a pack like that. That young man, he can't be questioned with his effort and integrity going back like that into a pack. And he's got up, which is good to see. He's up and about. So, good goal for the Devils.
So a big thank you to the Bacchus Marsh Golf Club, their ongoing commitment, providing a round for 2, including a card for the best Darley player this afternoon. We'll have a chat about that in a moment. Well, that was industrious by Riley to have a fresh crack at it out of mid-air with the volley. He got it to half forward, but Young with the turnover got it to Denham, to Adam Azzopardi. Here comes Myers! And he's taken the mark 40 metres out from goal. Well, for all the class of Myers, it is made a little bit easier when the ball's kicked to you like that, isn't it?
Yeah, open space. It's as we know and we've said numerous times, this ground can be very advantageous for a forward that can move and kick goals like that. He seems to be better from 40 out, Todd.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Myers kicks goal number 6. Game high 6 goals for Myers. He could have had 7. He gained that one away to Van Leith just minutes ago, and Darley get their 29th of the afternoon. They're 29-15.
Certainly the most noticeable thing, though, looking at Darley's scores this year, is the spread of goal kickers, and I think they are going to be much harder to play against. It's going to be a contest for the Meltons and the Sebastopols to play against the Devils this year, and a bit of luck went their way. They could have made a grand final last year, the Devils, to be honest. So they certainly weren't far off the mark, and I think they're a better side than what they were last year.
East Point within 8 points of Redan. Deep into that final term. Johnson again with the ruck duties. Tam only went as far as Kavarik. He's opposing number 7, Luther Baker, bowled him up, and there'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground. Johnson again with another hit out. Running onto it there was Bishop. Muse beat him to it, and then coughed it up with the pressure from Azapati. He kept knocking the ball forward. Something fell into his hands. Chance here for Denham for a steadying kick out in the direction there of Leonard. The gather was terrific. Hand pass was better to Cadman. Chip kick towards half forward. Denham was strong over the foot. He had it knocked away from him, and the Panthers are away as the ball ends up in Bridges' hands on centre wing. Right foot kick meant there towards Hoyland. Cousins at ground level. He's got 2 to beat. He'll be happy to square this away, and he will. And with the aid of the boundary line, the ball spills over for a boundary throw-in.
You can say what you like about the scoreboard, and obviously, the score dictates the fact that Melton South are getting beat, but I don't think you can deny that they're trying. The effort is there. Just a lack of quality players compared to their opposition, and as long as they keep trying, that's all the supporters can ask for.
There's the Morrissey push. Johnson had a bit of a surprise because that's the first time it's happened to him. Just asked the other 4 ruckmen that have had a crack in there. They've all caught one, but don't sweat the small stuff, they say, as Johnson got it to Baker, who took on the would-be tackler. Johnson pleaded for a high tackle. He's been in a bit of the wars today, Baker. Plenty of inside ball. And there'll be a stoppage on centre wing, between 2 centre wing and the boundary line. Baker just filling up the lungs as the umpire balled it up. Chapman, kick across the body. There's a chance here. Fino got it to Hoyland from 40. Chip kick into the pocket. And the mark's been taken here by Miller.
Take your 30 seconds, kid.
So Miller will have a shot on goal here from about 25. He was actually practicing at half-time or three-quarter time of the reserves game with shots from here. I know it's all a bit different in real game time, but he was doing the old banana kick. Let's see if he does it again. He does. And the bending back, he won't quite get the distance. Matty Brett charged at the footy, kept the ball in front, couldn't take the chest mark in the end. Cousins goes along the line, kicks okay, stays in. How will it sit from Muse? Kept it in front of him. The reinforcements come for the Devils through Bishop, who got it to Brett as the party kept running, ran his full measure, saw Chapman coming. He's not short on a bit of toe himself, so as the party went by hand to Leonard, who's been good first up. Conceded, boundary side to Sullivan, who went back to Cadman. Short kicks okay, and Denham took a steadying mark, and he'll take a breather. Switch play, that's good vision. They're queuing up here, the Devils. Lawler's one of those. Can go further afield to Page at 40 metres. Will look to square the kick, and the mark's been taken there by Brodie Ward. 41 metres out from goal. So a chance here for Brodie to become Darley's 14th goal kicker and kick Darley's 30th.
Nice bright green boots. I couldn't imagine Rod wearing a pair of those back in the day.
No. Big cheerio to Rod Ward, who'll be tuning in with after that knee operation, the knee replacement. Brodie Ward set sail for the judge. Oh, this time that has hit a post.
I can hit the top.
The top of the post, if you don't mind. Only one of the Wards could do that. Shane Ward could hit a golf ball and landed on top of that goal post. They can do some uncanny things, the Ward family. Blessed with some uncanny skill.
Just be interesting to see the tack that the Melton South coaches take into next week's game against Ballarat. What their focus areas may be after today's game.
So they go to and fro out of defence, and they find themselves back on the last line. So run away by hand to Green. By hand again. Awkward tumbling kick. Was done well there by Hoyland. Made it look better than what it was. Hand pass from Bridges. Was meant there for White. Excellent gather at speed at ground level. Shrugged off the would-be tackler. Chance here for Fino. Going to be quick. Man leads the racehorse. Gave it back to White. He kept running. Miller needs to pivot. But he missed the target by hand. He did most things right. Muse kept it in. The gather was good from Bibby. Gave it back towards Morrissey, who coughed it up and gave it to Brodie Ward, who switched play. That kick had to be good, and it was, and he found Page inside the defensive 40 for the Devils. kick was well weighted to Azapati, who's kept running today. Plays on. Speaking of running, goes Ward across the middle of the ground. Left foot kick goes in the Myers direction. They spoil one another. Cadman does the sharking. He can run into an open goal here, and he puts it through. Cadman gets Darley's 30th of the afternoon, and they're 4 short of the double ton. 30-16, 196 Darley. Lead Melton South 2-2-14. Joel Cadman gets his 2nd of the afternoon.
Good goal, and again the transition of the footy by the Devils was first rate. But I was just saying before, it'd be interesting to see which way the South coaches go. I think tackling's got to be a focus area. I think things that are effort areas are going to be the key to the South game this year, and real key pointers to their game.
So it's Johnson in the ruck. Won that tap. Denham gets. Oh, he looks a bit sore there, Denham. Let's hope he got a stinger on the face. He has, yeah, because of course that knee injury that put him out for 12 months and a subsequent. Well, I've had enough queue in the rack stuff, but so good to see him back, and he's warming into the task at his new club, and arguably his best game last week, and he's had plenty of it again today. So it's Johnson with the resultant free kick. That's a beautiful kick to Cousins. Played on with the right-hand hand pass to Page. He's drawn the overlap, just needs to give it. He does in the end. He gave it to Young, who went over the top towards Ankrum. Ankrum goes forward into the goal square. Myers the target, and he's got it. Myers has taken the mark. He's just outpointed Lee on that occasion. And the former Williamstown VFL affiliate will go back and have a shot on goal for number 7. He's just not going to go away, Myers, is he? That he might miss a couple, but he's just such a quality act.
Quality player, like straight out of VFL football. It wasn't just a VFL football. He wasn't just getting a game every now and then. He played week in, week out at Williamstown. So,
well, there's goal number 7 for Myers. The game high is 7. And the biggest bag of any Devils player for this year, of course, eclipsing Brett Bewley's star effort last week against Sunbury, 48 disposals and 6 goals, if you don't mind. And rest assured, Bewley, well, you're wondering why you haven't heard his name for some time. He's been on the bench. Needless to say, they've parked the Ferrari. Heath?
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly just Brett just on the ice and getting ready for next week.
For a down and steady, they lead East Point by 14 points. North Ballarat lead Ballarat by 64. Baker did the sharking. Searching hand pass over his head. That was clever from Denham. Knocking to centre wing to Ankrum, who gave it towards Sullivan. Right foot kick inside 40 was good. And found the lead of Myers again. Gee, Reece Lee, he's battled hard for the most part of the 3 quarters. But again, though, a good kick to Myers. There would no doubt be sort of manhandling Lee to get that sort of break on him.
He's a smart player, and Reece is he's undersized compared to Billy. He's trying to. I know he's got a knee injury at the moment that he's playing with as well, which doesn't help. But Myers is strong. He's a good mark for his size, and he's kicked another goal.
There's goal number 8 for Billy Myers, if you don't mind. The 187 metre if you don't mind. 187 centimetre forward for the Devils. He thinks he's a back, but goal number 8 tells me otherwise. 32 goals, 16 now, Darley.
Probably leading the Tony Lockett medal now, I would have thought.
208 lead Melton South 2-2-14. Yeah, with 7 he kicked, these last 2 weeks he kicked bags of 4 and 5. And he kicked 1 in his first game for the Devils, so this is game 4 for him, and he has 17 goals. Chance here for Chapman at the congestion. Decided to go by Knox, fell back into his hand. Here's a chance here. Into the middle of the ground goes White. Dropped it like a hot spot. Umpire let him get away with it as the party's hand pass was cut off by Fino, who hasn't given up the ghost. Neither had White, who got it further afield to Bibby. Riley cut one high. The umpire agreed. 2 number 4s head-to-head. It'll be Riley. The bearded version of the number 4 goes into the pocket. Cousins. A bit laconically. Chapman did well there. We had 3 to beat. The big fella there in Miller was dispossessed, and they'll run away here. It'll be Brett, one of those by hand. Got it to Denham, to Cousins. They're queuing up here, the Devils. Kick needs to be good. It went over the head of Matt Tricardi. Bouncing ball. Joel Cadman ran onto it. Ran to 40. Call it 30. Mate wakes up the options. Went to go over the top to Myers. Overcooked the kick and he's put it through for a point. Well, that's when you get caught in two minds of owning it or just go on the unselfish option there, Heath.
I always thought it was best to get your name in the paper and kick a goal, Todd.
Yeah, momentum through the footy is just cost Joel on that occasion as they negotiate out of defence, the Panthers. They'll sleep well tonight. Right foot kick goes to outer centre wing. Young, good tackle from Riley. He forces the turnover. Chance here for Bridges, who got it over towards... That was Kavarik, he got it to Bridges, who gave it over to Miller, who had more to do there. He had to panic the young fella, but he left it to tumble it on the boot with an old-fashioned talk, but seemingly 20 metres away from the nearest Darley player. And all he could find there was Matthew Britt on the last line, who, for a game that has been separated by the best part of 190 points, he'd just about be in their best players for sure, Matty Brett, for a key back performance today. His kick goes towards centre wing. There's another high free kick. It's going to go Riley's way, this time against Bailey Young. So come out wide to Rogers, who'll present. There's the ball from Lahoure, was good. Gathered by Sullivan. Can he keep it in? He can't. And there'll be a boundary throw in on half forward for the Panthers here, who trail by 195 points. Near 30 minutes gone, final term. Darley have kicked 9 goals. 6 in this final quarter. Melton's out of the battle, 1 behind. Throw in. Tap one by Johnson. Morrissey. Quick tap there to Fino. Excellent ball from Cousins on Chapman. And then he ran away, Cousins. Gave the hand pass over towards Azzopardi to Bishop, running through the middle. This is good play. Devils kick over the top. Goes to Myers. And Myers again has taken a mark in that all too familiar number 10 that won David Barnes wore and kicked so many goals inside 50 for the Devils those years back, Heath.
I don't think the jump is quite as big as what David's was.
Well, he's got his kicking boots on. I'll tell you what's at stake here. If Billy Myers can kick this goal, Darley will win by 201 points.
Well,
and that will eclipse the 200-point win of the reserves. So Myers for goal number 9.
He's got it.
Myers puts the icing on the cake for a day that simply belonged to the Devils. For an undermanned Panthers outfit, Darley have kicked goal number 10 to cap their 4-quarter effort with a 33-goal finish. 33 goals, 17, if you don't mind. 215 have defeated Melton South 2-2-14 after the Panthers could manage just 1 behind in that final term. Darley adding 10 goals, 6. Billy Myers finishing with 9 goals in the end to be game high. I reckon he kicked 6 in the last quarter, Heath. And the other major goal scorers, Darren Leonard 3, Dylan Bishop 3, Trey Van Leith 4. So I think Trey owes Billy a pot because that handball from inside the goal square to give Van Leith his 4th and deny Myers a 10th.
As it turned out, but